We have been so blessed over the years. We have so much music. And the beauty of it all is it wasn't repeat, repeat, repeat. It was always something fresh, you know? So when we received these tune them, why, it was like a anthem, 12-inch version, this one, full length. There we go. Oh, try something new this one. Try something new this one. Hmm? Da, 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 da. You know, you know that a person knows his tune, right? When he's been there and he has played that so many times, they know every note. You probably could pick like 2 bars of a tune and you would know. this is this is how intense that we had our appreciation of the music that we have had at the time, you know. And oh boy, I know that many probably many a youngs could do that with the modern lyrics, even though it sounds like a gargled somebody gargling them out sometimes. But obviously it makes sense. It makes sense to these youngs because they're on a different language and a different way of communicating than what we would be anyway. Yes, I. Edia, welcome to the Blacknificent show here on the Galaxy of We. I got a bit of a headache this rising. I don't know why. Don't know why. Maybe because I'm just not getting in enough rest in the evenings, but we'll see how we get through this one here. I'm fully alkalining myself up with my concoction of lemon. What did I put in this today? I put some lemon, spirulina. I remember spirulina, wheatgrass. Yeah, spirulina, wheatgrass. What else did I put in there? Irish moss as well. What else did I put in there? No, no, no. And it was all added into the water. So I'm gonna get through that. That's my task for today. Right. So I've got 4 hours of our us being together and me drinking my green juice, my green substance. I won't even call it a juice really because it's not really a juice, is it? Then yeah, I've got my stuff there, and we'll see how it goes. See how that goes down, and we got some other information that we want to be sharing with everybody here on the thing. And I would love to have your interreactions. I think it's vital that we do so because as we're going through this process of being presenters and community activists, right? It's called upon us at times to do things or to be part of things that is very important. And what's come up in my mind, and it's one of these things, is that once you activate a desire, let's put it that way. Once you activate a desire, and your desire is to do things or do things with or for our community. Let's say you don't know where the call is going to come from, but you know that it's going to come. And when it does come, we have to act on it. And out of the blue, because what was happening, I was just doing some research. I will tell you briefly what it was. I was doing some research over last Saturday and Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? And what was coming out of there was an uneasiness, extreme uneasiness for me. And I was just going through, looking at some statistics, getting some information together, mainly about the crime that was happening in the London area and everything. And obviously, there's always that buzzing question of what can I do? What can I do? You know? And Friday, for all of Friday, I got this. Then woke up Saturday with this thought in my head of, there must be something I can do, something I can do, And put it into the meditation part, put it into my meditation stream. And obviously, once you put it out there, you never know what's going to come back. And we attended, sorry, we attended a demonstration down there in Brixton Market by the store called the Noah, Nour, right? And we was outside there and doing our demonstration, and then we was approached by others who were, well, not approached, but they were there, and they were demonstrating about how they weren't in agreement with us being there and whatever, But in their remonstration, or their expression of that they didn't want us to be doing this type of thing there was something else that was being said. And it was very much in line with what I was thinking. And I never said anything at the time. I never said anything at the time. And then it transpired that this person was mentioning about, all the crimes was happening in the area and we're not doing anything about that. And of course, the old radar went up and said, well, okay then. Is that how you feel? Is that how you see it? That we're not doing anything? And then speaking with others who was demonstrating with, they displayed an interest in what we was talking about. Fortunately, they decided to initiate a gathering. So we're gonna bring it together and put some points and see what comes out of this. But I would like to hear from you, listeners, the listeners, right? How do you feel about your community? And I want this to be one of the themes of our conversation on this rising here. Because as you know, we do our clearings for the first part of the program. So if there's anything else on your mind, if there's anything else on your mind, then this is the time that we set to do that. And it's called a clearing. In other words, let's address those issues that we need to address. Right. Another thing I have to say, I have to really, really, really give thanks. I took mum to the hospital yesterday. I took mum to the hospital yesterday, and Alzheimer's can be it can be a challenging thing at times, and then at times it can be a very smooth travel. Right. So we got to the hospital, and the appointment was for 1 p.m. So we got there within time, and we got there quarter to one. Right. So we got there within time, and getting there was reasonably straightforward. reasonably straightforward, right? They're obviously, when with people with Alzheimer's, sometimes they can be a bit apprehensive about going into different environments and things. So we traveled, and we traveled there on the bus and the tube trains. Yeah. So we got there, and everything was fine. We got there fine, and she settled down inside the hospital, and we went into the waiting area. Now, when I've attended that hospital, which was up in City Road, right, the Moorfields Eye Hospital, when we attended that before, the waiting time and reviewing, or the not treatment, but the reviewing and the testing was pretty straightforward. And I would say probably the longest we would be in there would probably be about 40 minutes. So we got there for 1 p.m. And this is the first time that I've seen the the waiting room was absolutely full. It was a case of that the patients who were there to be treated were able to sit, and their people who was traveling with them, who came with them, right? There was no seating available, or very few seating available. So you know that the whole place was full. So obviously it's going to be a longer wait. But they do prioritize sorry, they do prioritize those who are of less ability as well. So, that is not so traumatic for them, right? Even though, even though it took us, I would say, right, we were there for, it took us 3.5 hours to go through the process of being checked and everything else. And of course, over that period of time, mum's getting a bit more anxious and things like this. So when she went out, finally was able to go and be seen, right, to get her eyes checked. She was in a very agitated state, and she refused. She refused to go through the process, basically, and it got to a state of that we had to take. She had to come out of the room, right, and then go back into the seating area, the reception area, right. Now, this is the thing. This is the thing. This is the thing I want to take. I want to really give to the people who work, or the staff that works in that hospital there, right? Moorfields Eye Hospital. Obviously, I'm there, and when she gets into that state, she seems to just shuts down and dismiss me from being her son and all this, horror carer or anything like this, right? So at this, some of the staff came in, and they saw that I was actually trying to handle this, and then they came over, and they were speaking with mum. Some of them got through to her, some of them not, right? But I'm going to tell you now. I know they probably do face these things all the time and everything else, but it was such a relief to see how people can be so attentive and caring, empathetic, empathetic, towards a person who's in a distress or in that state, right? And it was not only being attentive to my mother, but also to myself, right? And we was there, and I thought to myself, wow, wow, if this was at home now, I'll probably be there for another 2, 3 hours trying to calm my mother down, get her into a state of that she can feel comfortable or safe within herself, and then to build her back up to bring her out of that cocoonness what they do provide around themselves, just to feel safe. Yeah. Or lock themselves in a room, close themselves into a room, because I've taken off all the locks and everything in the house, so she can't do that. Anyway, but it was such a beautiful thing to see, right? And then even as we was going from one department to another department, right? There was other staff who saw, and they did exactly the same. They did exactly the same, right? And when I say to you that it took, because we had gone through the treatment and everything else, and she still was in that agitated state, right? And it took us nearly 2 hours, 2 hours, right, for her to calm down, to get to a balanced state for herself, so that she was ready to say, okay, I can leave. I would like to leave now, right? But all the time, the staff was there, and I thought, wow, wow. And in a sense of that, I could sort of like sit, ease back a bit, and then just wait for that moment of acknowledgement. That moment of acknowledgement of that. Oh, hello. How are we going home now? You know. And then she would turn around to me. I would turn around and say, "Yes, we're going home now." And then she would be that make that submissive, like hold to the hand, so that we could make our way then. You know. But I would have to say, I'm going to say right here, right now, I'm going to say thank you, thank you to the staff of the Moorfields Eye Hospital there, all those who were helping me. And I would say that they would have been, what, two, six, eight, at least 8 members of staff that was in, that was being attentive towards my mother and myself as well. And even to the end is that we even our trip, sorry, the return trip back, right? They arranged for a taxi for us to come back to go home with as well. So we didn't have to go on the public transport in that way, you know? But it just goes to show, right? That if you look for those who will help, and even without even asking, there are those out there who will help. They will help. Do not stand and in your own and just be there trying to do something and just be, as we say, we're stuck, right? We don't need to be digging ourselves deeper into a proverbial sinking sand. We don't have to be digging ourselves in that way. Sometimes it's good to just allow what's going to happen, because like as I do with my mother, I don't um you know like cajole her or push her or to say, come on now, let's go, right? But like I can understand and I can sense when some people do get frustrated with this. I can sense that, and I do understand that it can be an extremely frustrating process, extremely frustrating process. But if you work If you have worked on yourself, then you will know when that thing is coming up, that inert, that inert um, uh, behavioral pattern. Shall I put it that way? That inert behavioral pattern, and that will prevent you from getting the real results of what you want. Why? Because then you would have that thought of, oh, wish I had not done that. And then you're going to be going through the rest of the day, or probably even the next time you come across the same situation or scenario, and then immediately you're going to be in that guilt state. So let's avoid that in the first place. Let's avoid that scenario in the first place, right? By realizing and recognizing that some things can be extremely challenging. Caring for ones and ones, even caring for our children, right? You know what? You know how a mother can be. You know how a mother can be when it comes to her children, right? Not even the father. Hey, not even the father can come anywhere near her children. Hmm? Not even the father can go anywhere near her children if that mother is like this or can be like this. Yeah. So come on now. We have to learn. We have to learn to be more in tune with our behavioral patterns. To be more in tune with our behavioral patterns. And how do we do that? How do we do that? Revisit those things that are the triggers. Recognize them, master them, so that when we are triggered, or we feel that things are rising, and we feel that we are going to be doing these things, and we feel that we are going too far, we can recognize that. We can recognize that instead of jumping in and saying, no, look, I can handle this. I can handle this. It's all right. I've done this before. No, you know what? Just stand back. Just step back. Allow allow a process to happen. I was even challenged yesterday of who was I to to my mother, right? I was able to give them information, and they went and checked it as well. They went and checked it. I said, okay, fair enough. That's no problem with me. It's no problem for me. So therefore, when it came to the point of that I was there and they recognized or acknowledged who I was, that's when they processed the next part. Yeah, they processed the next part. So imagine now if I was a person who was going to be agitated by the situation, by the anxiety of what my mother was displaying at the time, and then being questioned of who am I? Who am I? All I would say is that even though I was there, I was very aware of my triggers. I was very aware of my triggers. So when it came and I was faced with those things, I could assess them right there on the spot and said, you know what? I can choose how I wish to engage with this. I choose how I wish to engage with this. Huh? And as I say, as a result of that, right? I was able to receive, or should I say, we were able to receive excellent service by the staff at Moorfields Eye Hospital there on the City Road. Right, I know that many of you probably have visited that site there as well. Probably your experience was completely different. I don't know, but I would say on this occasion, I would say thank you, thank you, thank you to all of those, and to those in the listening. If you know anybody who's working within that, or even within that profession there, right, and you can pass on the message there as well, that we all learn, right? And but I am very very grateful for your attentiveness towards my mother and myself as well, right? So thank you once again, right? Let me just see if this thing is gonna happen, because I was trying to get this to work, right? And I'm just hoping we're not gonna have a technical day like how we did yesterday. I'm just hoping we're not gonna have one of those types of days today's. Okay. Let me put it like this, and then up there. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Let's see what we got here.
Bones rock be sure, defend the poor. Them can't take it no more. Use who me, who never did. I'm a sister. Because me know me is a king, so for every building, me rather be the roof than the floor. Can't step on me. Sit here. I know track and field this, but fresh cold knows how to get to run. It hard to tell who are the realest when every quarters there is a run. Which political party they affiliate with? A Catholic answer you get me tell you none. And not two, are more like 27. That are the fire me a burn. But the government and them semantics. Politician, politics, I keep up the antics. From it and far, like fishing at the Atlantic. Head of go roll down King Street and they kick. Still, I love myself, show me no romantic. Them streets full up of my dogs, they so damn sick. Watch who I get scammed from them right hand trick. I rasta tower them one crumble like the click. Presidential. Would be chair? No sir. No. If the finger in the feet? No man. Would be who you? No sir. No. If the finger in no. Me know better. All them do. Tell a bag of lies, false promises, and not that them no give, them no care. If you dwell in a this style like a pig, them no fit up in your shampoo. Now the condition how you live is all about the race. When election time, I know. First, I go cross the finish line. Nothing them not do. They diminish crime. Yet them can't stop the ghetto stars from shine. Ask them. If them here pay the youths, them help sell them. And to mouth can never gain wealth. Long time them got to know on segregation bench. Think of the whole place, now them can't manage the stench. Would be chair? No sir. No. If the finger in a NPP? No man. Would be who you? No sir.
Hooray.
Me know better. I know track and field this, but fresh cold knows how to get to run. it hard to tell who are the realists. When every quarters there is a run. Which political party me affiliate with? A Catholic answer you get me tell you none. And not two, I'm more like 27. That are the fire me a ball. And to the government and them semantics. Politician, politics, I keep up the antics. Rabbit and par, like fishing at the Atlantic. Head I go roll down King Street and get kicked. Still, I love me set, show me no romantic. Them streets full up of my dogs, we so damn sick. Watch who I get scammed from the right hand trick. I rasta tower them one crumble like it click. Presidential. Vote BJ.
All right.
If I'm standing in the town, I'm a king, I'm a king. If I'm standing in a town, I'm a king. Make it sweet and slow till the morning. And if it's sweet and slow.
All right. No, let me just put my eyes on. Let me just put my eyes on. Hold on. Just a moment, my people. Just put some eyes on here. Got some readers. Forgot my normal glasses at home. So just got these other ones at the bottom of the bag. So I'm back in here anyhow. All right. Right. Yes. So that's two incidences was happening over the last few days. Right. Lines are open 0203-289-6504. Right. So if you want to come and join in the conversation this strong, we're asking what is the social changes that you feel that we should be addressing in our community right now. We got to step up the game in the questions that we're asking as well. In not only the questions, but also the results on our expectations as well. We're coming up to a time of where we're going to be asked a lot more about our opinions, right? This is not a time to be quiet. This is definitely not a time to be quiet about our opinions, right? And the reason why I say that is because they are going to be relying on our votes, but they don't even know what our requirements are. Right across the board, right across the board, there is the lack of cohesion, communication, and real connectivity with the communities. They blatantly disregard the needs of the people. If anything, they would literally leave you to survive on your own. Yeah, they'll just survive on your own. Right? And when I say they, I mean the system leaders. Yeah? We have elections coming up in various places around the world. We know more about what's happening in other places than we know what's going on in our own doorstep. Why is that? Why would we know more about what's happening 7,000 miles away than what we would know, which is literally on our own doorstep? We wouldn't even know what the feeling of our own neighborhood is. But yet, we can run commentary on things that are happening six, seven
Palestine.
thousand miles away. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Greetings, my brother. Greetings, grand risings, man.
Yeah, you too, Babassi. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. How are you?
I'm good, you know. I'm in deep thought and deliberation at the moment, but
I
as
can
I
hear
am
you.
as I'm in that deliberation, everything is
Yeah,
coming to fruition anyway.
I can hear you. I can hear you, my brother.
Mm,
You just picking something that I was going to talk about. You know, sort of. But you know, right now, right?
mm-hmm.
I'm just left the court, right? This is a court because you know what happened in Nottingham last year, right?
Yes, because
And
you was arrested on the way when you was coming down, isn't it?
yeah, I was arrested yeah, from you know, the reparation march.
Mm,
That's because of what happened in Nottingham in June.
mm-hmm.
I was quite vocal about what happened. But I just left the court right now. There, they're sentencing the brother, right? And I call
Wow.
him a brother. Who killed those three people in Nottingham? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you know,
The two
we were
students, the two students.
yeah, the students and this school caretaker as well,
Yes.
right? There's not some of us standing outside the court this morning, right? I left about I left about an hour or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just got back I was listening to you on the way, and they 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 are gonna have a sentence our brother, right?
Mm.
But the white people can think of that because the brother pleaded manslaughter, not murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, he may get a sentence that they think he didn't deserve.
Yeah.
My thing is this, right? When you see when this white guy killed a black woman, you know, this is Nottingham as well, in cold
Mm.
blood, right? You know, he firebombed the house
Mm-hmm.
in the early hours of the
With the
morning, 2, 3
children, with
a.m.
the
Right?
children as well, is it?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Where were these white people saying that? Oh, you know, uh, you know, what this guy did was wrong, blah 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 blah, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it took us 9 months to take the case matter to court because the Crown Court in Nottingham, and also the police, right, at the time they didn't treat it as a racial motivated murder, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we were able to put pressure on them, right? In the circumstances, they said to them, this was a cold, calculated, racially motivated murder. Because if it wasn't right, why would you firebomb somebody at night, crack of dawn,
Mm.
when you know they're in bed and the public won't have time to escape? Why not do it during the daytime?
Mm.
Yeah? And, you know, when it's for them, right, they'll come and say, oh, the guy had diminished responsibility, right?
Yeah.
The brother, right, that kid, white people, right, he had a history of mental health, right? Because really had a history of mental health, yeah? So that's the kind of way,
Oh, I see. So he was using that as his softener.
yeah. Yeah, because
Mm.
the brother, yeah, no, the brother had a history of mental illnesses, right? Because he was let down by the system,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's his probably his getaway card, right?
Mm.
For even avoiding, and it's there. The police have got records of it. It was known by the police,
Mm.
right? Of having mental issues, and even the mental services in Nottingham, right? But because he was African, like black, they didn't give it, they give him a toss, right? So they give him some drugs and then they let him off the hook, or they let him get back into his community.
Mm-hmm.
So you now can't come and say that, oh, because he's got mental health problems, right, and killed you white people, right? Oh, that's not, that's not that should not be taken into account when you sentencing him.
Hmm. Oh, so he'd have been directed not to take that into account.
Whoa, we don't know because the white people are saying, right, that it was a cold, calculated murder.
Yeah.
Right? How debate it was a cold, calculated murder.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Right? You see, when it comes, but when it's over around, right, it's not cold, calculated.
Yeah.
That David Farrow, right, who burned down the black woman's house, right, that was uncalculated and cold.
Mm.
But the black man kills a white man, right? White people, that's cold and calculated.
Mm-hmm.
You see
Mm-hmm.
how the mind split?
Hmm.
But Rustin, but it don't matter, man. But we know the brother will get time, right? But
Mm.
we don't matter about that. But for us, it's a hero. Yeah, he's a hero for us
Mm.
because when that white man killed the black woman, right? Oh my God, that was huh. That oh man, I couldn't even describe it, right?
When I heard what happened, right? Obviously, you know, hearing the circumstances of it all, that this person had committed this act, right? Or just about the fire, didn't know who it was that did it anyhow initially, and then finding out that they've been subject to abuse for so long already, you
Exactly.
know,
Before that.
and to even to hear the that they had been abused in that long, and yet nobody had actually addressed that,
Mm-hmm,
you
mm-hmm.
know, and they had no intentions of addressing it, right? Because
So we have to force them to do. We said that you got security cameras.
mm,
There was a CCTV right near the area where that barrow firebombed the woman's house. But
mm,
to begin with, right, they didn't want to get the evidence
mm,
to put pressure on. And this is why we got the local MP involved and some of the councils involved. Yeah, had we not got the local MP involved, right, and some of the councils, right,
hmm,
it wouldn't have been that way. So I'm saying in terms of Newcastle, right, the black people in the black community, that area, right, you need to get your MP involved. You need to get your MP involved and also the councils of that area. Because
mm,
that case, I listened yesterday to a presentation by Bufalida Bandaka, right? I didn't mean this all of it, but I caught some of it on this issue show, yeah?
mm,
And to me, right, this thing was premeditated. This is a cold, calculated attack on innocent black people, African people, just having a party, enjoying themselves.
mm,
Right? And
mm,
I think if I'm correct, what Bufalida said yesterday, there's an evidence out there that said the white man, there's a white man deliberately threw a fire bomb in that house, where the party was at.
mm,
So if it's not, this is actually a terrorist attack on Newcastle massacre, right? So the community, you got to get up, beloved. The same way we did in Nottingham, right? Where we demanded justice for Fatima and the two picnic them.
mm,
You got to demand justice for those 15 innocent young black boys, young black girls, right, who were massacred, who were terrorized, or who were the victim of a terrorist attack in Newcastle. Because if you don't, you're letting the demons off hook, man. You can't
mm,
allow that, because if that was the other way around, you think they'd be off hook.
mm,
And these
mm.
people, right, when it's something that happens to them, right, it doesn't matter. They'll take years to get justice. Look at Lockerbie, Libya. That's
Mm.
1988. They still want to claim reparations from Libyan government for that. Yeah. Look at Hillsborough. That was 1989. That's 35 years ago. They're still wanting to get justice. And you want and you lot in the community in London or part of London in Newcastle, you're sitting down. You don't want to fight, get up, and demand justice.
Well,
Write to your MP, get your MP involved, get your
right,
black councils
right.
involved,
Hold on,
get
hold
the
on, hold on, hold on,
involved.
hold on. For what I know, what has happened over the years with that,
Mhm.
right? That every line of legal way that we have approached this, right,
Mhm.
has been rejected, right, and held
Yeah,
and we've even thought of, like, I recall quite a few years ago now that they were looking to do a private investigation into this, right? I don't know how what came of it, right? But recently, and I did play the clip there. It was there was one of the he's sorry, he's a victim himself, right? Out of the fire, and
mhm,
there are, as he stated, there's 56 other victims as well, so others who were injured in that fire,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
And that
mhm.
they've come together to actually form a
Okay. Mhm.
committee for their own investigation into this as well,
Right. Okay, but that's fine.
right?
But I'm saying that have they engaged the MP of that area? Because this is election year, right? They
Mm.
want the same MP, right? We want to come to your area and get the black people in that area.
Mhm.
So I'm saying to our people in that area, right? Because it's an election year, right? You even got more nous
Mm.
to get your MP involved
And this
in
is
this campaign.
this is why I'm saying that
Well, that's, well,
we need
let me
to
very quick,
verbalize. We need to
right?
verbalize and get our messages out there now,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, right, you need to get the council involved because I think there's local elections next year in London.
Mm-hmm. All of them. All
Right.
of them. Everything is up for grabs right there now.
Right. Right. So we in London, or you in London, right, need to make this an election issue, a local election issue in London.
Mm-hmm.
That the New Cross thing, right, is more than just a terrorist attack on black people. And I know this is going to play. It's not a massacre. It was a terrorist attack.
Mm-hmm.
We need to refresh our language now. This is not a massacre. This is not a racist attack. This was a terrorist attack on 15 innocent black people who were just enjoying themselves at a house party.
Mm-hmm.
And even we hear now that a white man said he deliberately threw a firebomb into the property. So that's even more ammunition for us now.
Yeah, I've heard of reports of that already previously as well. I've heard of this.
Where the white man them? Where he them? Right? And this is even more ammunition that we've got now to get this pursued in a court of law or get him to reopen the case. I'm sure Brother Cole, listen, right? Brother Cole, he would understand the law better than we do, right? But there's evidence out there. There's bona fide evidence out there, right? And the white man admitted that he threw a bomb. That's even more evidence now that this case needs to be reopened, beloved.
All right.
The community, right? The MP, get the MP in that area.
Yeah. Okay, then. Let me just bring in this other. Let me just bring in this other caller. Let me just bring in this other caller. Let me see. It's 9726.
Yeah,
Greetings.
Your conversation and the question that you asked. You asked a question about why is it that we know so much about what's going on thousands of miles away.
That's right.
But we don't know about what's going on our own doorstep. Well, the thing is that we do know what's going on our doorstep. We just don't want to talk about it.
There you go.
It's New Cross, like New Cross.
Exactly.
There's like New Cross, but there's other things as well as New Cross. But we do know what's going on our doorstep. We just don't want to talk about it.
I agree. I agree with you very, very much as well. Because, like, you know, it seems like it's just like when you hear somebody giving a message. We will line up and pay big money, right, for somebody to come from America, right,
You know what I'm saying?
or the Africas to come and give you a message about yourself. yeah, you know, at times it just get very frustrating because we've got plenty of many accomplished people here who could give you just as much the right message and the right information for a successful society, that what we require over here. But we turn a blind eye. We're still chasing the dollar, even though we're living with sterling. You know, it just seems, I don't, you know, it just seems upside down. Why are we doing that?
That's what I said, right? You black people, right? You want to talk about Palestine. We're not talking about what's happening in, even your local authority. Like Birmingham local authority, they get said bankrupt. You know what's the effect on black people? Nottingham authority, just 2 songs ago, they get said bankrupt. You know the black people in Nottingham, you know what's going to have effect on you? Particularly if you're working for the council, or if you depend on services for the council, or if you've got children in schools that are owned by the council, and you want to talk about damn Palestine? Oh yeah, man.
Exactly. You know, they're talking about other places and everything, but you just say, okay, what about our local place? Oh, we don't know nothing about that.
See what I mean?
But we'll give billions, literally billions, away to others so that they can buy weapons.
You see, but that's it, right? I'm seeing black people, right, standing for Palestine. We go on these marches, right, in Nottingham, Leicester, London, Bradford. This is black people that look at you and I, right? But these same damn black people, right, are not going to march, right? Nottingham City Council is bankrupt, right? How does it affect black people? I didn't see in protest, right? In Birmingham, there's lots of black people in Birmingham, right? Birmingham City Council just last year before Kwanzaa, right? They get yourself bankrupt, right? You black people in Birmingham, right? Why are you marching? Because that's going to impact your school, your children's school. That's going to impact the community in Birmingham. Even the ones I went to, right? Because I went to a couple of them 2 years ago, right? 22, right? When I was promoting the first of Messiah, right? And I went to one in Answorth, I went to one in Longzells, and even the man said that they're gonna take it away from them. I'm saying, what? Sent away from me. And the man said to me, yeah. I said, why? He says, oh, because of authority cuts. I said, no, man, but you should be fighting, protesting against that. And when I said that, when I said to the man, then, right, you just shook your shoulders. You know, what the hell is that, man?
I said, what can you do?
Exactly. You can do what you can do, man.
Yeah.
Right? And we know that because of the bankruptcy, right, they're going to cut down the black projects first. Right? In Birmingham, in Nottingham, they're going to cut down the black projects first. And you know when to march about that? We want to march for damn Palestine? No. We got prices all wrong, man.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame. But then again, we're talking about it now. Let's hopefully that it will trigger some of those out there to take action. Right. Listen, I'm coming into the midday meditation right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We shall continue the conversation after the midday meditation and the ancestral voices. Okay.
All right. Give thanks.
Okay, then. Thank you very much. We're coming up to the midday meditation this strong here on the galaxy of FaWe.net on the Blacknificent radio show here. We're doing the clearing. We've done the clearing. All those things that are on our mind, we've been able to speak into a new level of interaction. Yes. You are the future. So let's step into this. Together. We take the time for the midday meditation to do our balancing, we do our clearing, to do our questions to the inner, to develop that inner voice within ourselves, to have that connection with ourselves so that we've been able to live to our optimum at all times. So without further ado, let's take the next 15, 20, 30 minutes for our midday meditation this strong here on the galaxy of FaWe.net.
Yeah. Whoa.
The power of the breath.
Every man do his thing a little way different. Every man do his thing a little way different. The things I do it in a different way from you. The things you do it in a different way from I. Every man do his thing a little way different. Yeah. Every man do his thing a little way different. No matter what color, race, or creed that he may be. So don't watch mine. No. Check with you. Yes. Do his thing a little bit different. Every man do his thing a little way different. Every man do his thing a little way different. The things you do it in a different way from a high. The things I do it in a different way from you. Yes, every man do his thing a little way different. No matter what color, race, or creed that he may be. Oh, watch mine. No.
Spiritual and Midday Meditation here on GalaxyUpperWe.net. Here we go.
Love is when the high grade it a bun. I be the high grade me want in a me cranium. Nah, stop on until he done. High grade increase me knowledge over standing and wisdom. Love is when the high grade it a bun. I be the high grade me want in a me cranium. Nah, stop please until he done. High grade increase me knowledge over standing and wisdom. It's the medicine prescribed by Jaja, the cure for all sickness, heal all cancer. Good for arthritis and it's good for asthma. No coke and crack, we no want it voucher. Only the high grade we want Panda Senior. Brown like chocolate, green like Arizona. At the Lone Stone make me holding them vibes, yeah. Man just a blaze a phone and marijuana. Love it when the high grade it a bun. I be the high grade me want in a me cranium. Nah, stop on until he done. High grade increase me knowledge over standing and wisdom. Love is when the high grade it a bun. I be the high grade me want in a me cranium. Nah, stop please until he done. High grade increase me knowledge over standing and wisdom. High grade for bun just hear me out. High grade in a me house, in a me yard, in a me car. Meditation so good, high grade never depart. Couple of persecute the weed and what we got them cigar. From ancient days, it was smoked by many slaves. Marijuana is a thing, I eat me love the place. I eat make me strong and I eat make me brave. It was found from Solomon grave. Hey, love is when the high grade it a bun. I be a high grade me want in a me cranium. Nah, stop on until he done. High grade increase me knowledge over standing and wisdom. Love is when the high grade it a bun. I be a high grade me want in a me cranium. Nah, stop this until he done. High grade increase me knowledge over standing and wisdom. I'm more than me touch more. Children of my country, we touch them, legalize them, and change them policy. Any chapter 1 verse 11 and 12 tell me, what up, me touch more, we did not me touch children of my country. We touch them, legalize them, and change them policy. Black carpet. Jumping on. Only Jah knows the pressure we bear, the struggles we face every day. Only Jah knows the heartache and the pain, the stress on the brain, and it shows. Even when I try to do things right, someone's there putting up a fight. And when I try to play it cool, they love and talk, stay down. And when I stop, kick back and reflect, if it wasn't for God, they would have stopped my breath. But all in all, I do things with a smile. With a smile, only I know the pressure we bear, the struggles we face every day. Only I knows the heartache and the pain, the stress on the brain, and it shows. Watch them wonder. Oh, me so happy when me step and I go through me ever clean me no crappy. Nothing on me heart me nah no hate for nobody. Them a evil so them life I can see what they are up to. They wanna deceive and confuse you. And then they act as if what they do is the norm. But only Jah knows the pressure we bear. The struggles we face every day. Only Jah knows the heartache and the pain, the sadness and the brave, and it shows. Only Jah knows. Jah knows.
Yes. Going through to the midday meditation here on the Black Show. Here on GalactiaForReal.net.
Yaga, yaga, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yaga, yeah. When I was planting, they were laughing. No one to help me on the farm.
Sure this is from Japan.
So I was left out in the cold.
Must be from Japan.
Jah was I shelter from the storm. Big surprise now, them want to help me reap through over France, me gone. Before all these things come to pass, they would laugh, I man to scan. Them can't believe what I have achieved. Me gone Amsterdam to love the beauty and burn the beast. The fire get hot. Them can't take the heat. It make no sense to call the fire brigade or the police. Babylon keep your distance. Rastafari put in no resistance now. Jah gave her inspiration to trot all the way across creation now. Babylon keep your distance. Rastafari put in no resistance now. Jah gave her inspiration to trot all the way across creation now. I could see them from afar, trying to stop superstar. But Rastafari sent for no more Babylon to help I win the war. And by the powers of the Most High Jah, I know I will reach far. He's still on the throne, and I'm not alone. And that's how I'm not sure where the things and them come. So when them are reign, all I do is pray, King Selassie, never go on holiday. Babylon, keep your distance. Rastafari put in no resistance now. Jah gave her inspiration to trot all the way across creation now. Babylon, keep your distance. Rastafari put in no resistance now. Jah gave her inspiration to trot all the way across creation now. Yeah, they never want to plant no can, but now them want to reap the bond. That's why Rastafari have to lock them all to scorn. You have to work extra hard. If you don't have money at your band. So me go so row, Mr. Fisherman row. The way of survival is the only way to go. So some little devils are going like them no know. And one come take a Rastaman before we show. Babylon, keep your distance. Rastafari put in no resistance now. Jah gave her inspiration to trot all the way across creation now. Babylon, keep your distance. Rastafari put in no resistance now. Jah gave her inspiration to trot all the way across creation now. Yeah. When I was planting, they were laughing. No one to.
Swan. Tell them something, huh?
Another day in the system burning. Watching all my little brothers struggling and another day in the system slaving and the building up, building down, still nowhere going. Now tell me, is it the democracy that the leaders just don't care. We should live or we should die. Oh, so long to get this shit. Now tell me what are we gonna do? People shivering jump for food. Must be willing to sacrifice. If we think you want the price, it's gonna be another day in the system, burning lights. Watching all my little brothers struggling. Ooh, yeah. Another day in the system, slaving, building up, tearing down, still nowhere going. Girl, you don't forget to call me sad. We're not friends of the same class. And keep a smile upon your face. Be remembered on the box. We want us to think we've got no friends. We're living just to stay alive. But we're not giving up on life. Till we win the first prize. It's gonna be another day in the system, burning, burning. But you know my little brothers struggling now. Oh, it's gonna be another day in the system, slaving, building up, tearing down, still nowhere going.
You're in tune to the midday meditation here on the galaxy.
Many a man has gone away. Many a man has gone astray, searching for the treasures of a love that's true. I'm hoping that my treasure can be you. And I believe, the further you look, the less you see. I'm hoping you be the treasure for me. I've seen men carry their hopes from town to town, trying to track lost treasure down. Some find the true love before their hopes are gone. Others lose all and they have to go on. And I believe, your love, the less you see. I'm hoping you be the treasure for me. Traveling on, wondering if they've done something wrong. Wondering if I'm becoming a rover. But if you see my mind searching it all over, Lord, show them I'm hoping you be the treasure for me. Traveling on, wondering if they've done something wrong. Wondering if I'm becoming a rover. But if you be my searching it all over, Lord, show them the lesson you see. I'm hoping you see the treasure. Oh, me. Oh, me. Oh, me. I'm hoping you see the treasure. Oh, me. Long time is what the world is talking about. You got confusion all over the land. Mother against daughter, father against son. The whole thing is getting out of hand. Folks wouldn't have to suffer if there was more love for your brother, but these are trying times. You got the rights and the ghetto, and it's all around. A whole lot of things that's wrong is going down. I don't understand it. My point of view. Somebody said to one other that you would have them do under you, and then folks wouldn't have to suffer. But these are trying times. People always talk about man's inhumanity to man, but what you do to make it a better land? Just pick up your paper, turn on your TV, you see a lot of demonstration for equality, but folks would never suffer if there was no love. But these are trying times. What the world is talking about. You got confusion all over the land. Mother against daughter, father against son. It's getting out of hand.
Sometimes you just gotta let it roll, innit? You just gotta let it roll. You're in the mid. You're in tune to the midday meditation here on the galaxy of the we.net.
Put yourself in my place, only for a day. See if you can stand this loneliness I feel inside. Ooh, baby, put yourself in my place, only for a day. See if you can stand this loneliness I feel inside. And when you lose a little sleep at night, cause you're not to feel right, then you know heartaches are bad. Sitting by the telephone, sitting there all alone, then you know I'm feeling sad. Put yourself in my place, only for a day. See if you can stand this loneliness I feel inside. Ooh, baby, put yourself in my place, only for a day. See if you can stand this loneliness I feel inside. Inside. When you lose a little sleep at night, cause you're not to feel right, then you know heartaches are bad. Sitting by the telephone, sitting there all alone, then you know I'm feeling sad. Put yourself in my place, only for a day. See if you can stand this loneliness I feel inside. Ooh, baby, put yourself in my place, only for a day. See if you can stand this loneliness I feel inside. Inside. See if you can stand this loneliness I feel inside. I feel inside. See if you can stand this loneliness I
Next up, we'll be coming up to our ancestral voices. Directly after these two last messages around the end of the
moving up to the city to live the dream that's in her mind. Oh yeah, kind of young but she's ready to take on anything in life. Mm-hmm, yeah. And what you don't know, there are things that she can go. Oh yeah. She found a bed-set apartment. Ain't got much room, but she can go. She's got her dreams and a home. Oh, still a dream, living big city life. The way she wanna live, but it ain't always on. You hear and what you see, living big city life. Survivor is the key. She met a man in a party. He bought her drinks and told her jokes. Mm-hmm. Filled her head up with promise that he could get her what she wants. Mm-hmm. But what she forgot, that all that glitters isn't gold. Oh no. So she takes up his offer. She's all caught up but doesn't know that she's part of a show. Oh, yeah, living big city life. The way she wanna live, but it ain't always all. You hear and what you see, to live big city life. Survivor is the key. City life ain't so pretty when you come to realize, oh well, doing things you don't want to, but you gotta to survive. Oh yeah, now she wants to go home, but that ain't for her to decide. Oh no, she's gotta finish her sentence. She got caught up in the high of the big city life. Yeah. Oh, always still a dream. Yeah. Living big city life. The way she wanna live, but it ain't always all. No, you hear what you see to this big city life. Yeah. Survivor is the key. Oh, but she can't have it all. Still a dream, living big city life.
Yes.
She wanna live, but it ain't
Brother, thank you for joining us on our midday meditation this strong. One more. From an old favorite man again. As an artist, that is.
In times like these, don't live in regret. Just hold the one you love close and never forget. Tomorrow isn't promised. In times like these, remember to hold the ones you love close. Let's sing, dance, raise a glass, make a toast to those bittersweet memories. In times like these, tomorrow isn't promised, so never ever doubt how I feel about you. Times like these, I'm holding you closer, so never ever doubt how I feel about you.
Yes.
In times like these, we all need a melody, a song to remind us those days we used to laugh in the sun. All those bittersweet memories of love and dreams. Times like these, I'm holding you closer, so you never doubt how I feel about times like these. Tomorrow isn't promised, so never ever doubt how I feel about you. In times, in times like these, I'm holding you closer. Tomorrow isn't promised, so never ever doubt how I feel about in time. In times like these.
Well. There you go. That's our sister Carol Thompson there, right? Been around for many a year, still sounding excellent, excellent. Anyway, right. Thank you for being with us on our midday meditation this strong here. And I really hope that you are benefiting from the midday meditation, taking that time out to really recenter yourself, make yourself feel good about yourself. Eh? Okay, so we just even take it one step at a time, a little step at a time, do that body check in as well, just to identify those places that are giving you more stress, giving it time to just ease off, you know, take that space to just say, something, let me just do some quality time with you. Yeah. Okay. So let's do our self healing. Let's do our self centering here with our midday meditation. Without further ado, let's go into our ancestral voices. This is a message from a young person, a message from a young person faced with the dilemmas of life. Faced with the dilemmas of life. Let's see what we can do as we listen to this person's account of themselves. Right? So like, without further ado, let's go into this this strong's ancestral voices. And I want you to have a very keen listening ear here, please. Please.
that is something that you really need to just keep off limits, because it does not really matter who says you can say it and who says you can't. The bottom line is, if you're not black and you say that word, it's just a bad look. So that was one friend that I really could not continue to hang with, because their frequent use of that word just made me super duper uncomfortable. And just the thought of having to have a conversation about it just kind of made me think to myself, like, wow, like, you call yourself my friend, but I need to tell you to not say this thing that makes me uncomfortable, and you're saying it like every time I see you. It's like, nah, like, you're not my friend. Like, that just kind of made me start feeling like a token almost, because it's like you're hanging with me, and every time you come around me, I hear this word out your mouth. And I feel like, to some degree, I must have said something at some point in the past where it's like, bro, like, come on, like, you can't be saying that. That's not cool. Like, do you see me? Like, do you know who I am, who my people are, what we've been through? And you're making light of that word. That's, ugh, that's not cool. So, yeah, needless to say, me and that friend fell out. The last time we actually chilled was about a year ago. Um, and it was fun, but there were moments where I was just like, bro, like, I honestly can't believe, like, I really even need to say this to you. Like, it's sad, honestly. Another person that I've been cool with for a very long time, I recently kind of started to fall off with, which really hurt me because we were friends for a very long time. Um, if memory serves correctly, I was actually friends with this person since like fifth grade is when we really started getting cool. So fifth grade, I was 10, turning 11, and like the title of the video says, I'm 25 now. So I've definitely been friends with that person for a whole decade and a half at this point, 15 years later. And so that one, it really kind of like tears my heart that like me and this person are not as close as we used to be. Um, this person is actually one of the people who went to the same high school as me. After we graduated from middle school, we went to the same high school. Um, so he was there while I was kind of like getting acclimated, learning new people and like different things like that. Um, and if I saw him in the hallway, like in between classes, we say what's up, dap each other up, whatever. And yeah, we was cool. But in recent years, like the past like 2, 3 years maybe, we kind of just like started like gradually slowing down on the communication, like barely reaching out, barely chilling. The most notable thing that we did the most recently was we went to a concert about 2 years ago, and that was fun. It was a great time. He also brought along some mutual friends that I was kind of cool with. One of them I was meeting for the first time. The other one I had kind of like been knowing for a few years through him. So like it was the four of us. We were all cool, but I was really only like real friends with one of the people in that group. So yeah, but regardless, we had fun at the concert and everything. We would chill. We would smoke, whatever, go out together, do things like that, and we had a great time with a lot of the stuff that we did. But I don't know. It's kind of the same deal. Like as the years have gone on, I guess maybe just different goals kind of split up our paths. So yeah, it's been kind of a long time that I've chilled with him. Pretty long time since I've seen him too. I think the last time I've seen him was maybe last year. Like I honestly don't even remember. So like that right there should tell you like we're falling out. So yeah. And then lastly, one friend I want to talk about that I kind of fell out with is a friend that I met around the same time as the previous person I just talked about. Um, I met this friend in fifth grade also is when we really became cool. And actually, the three of us kind of started hanging out together. Fifth grade around that time, middle school, high school. Yeah. The friend that I met just the second friend that I met when I was about 11 years old, 10 years old in fifth grade. His father owned a restaurant, and we would all like hang out at the restaurant, eat, chill, like free food and all that. How can you turn that down? We're like teenagers. We're all hungry. We're all growing. So of course, you're not going to turn down free food. And yeah, this particular friend, I never really had any like issues with them. It's just kind of the same deal, I guess. It's like after high school, like we kind of just like slowed down our relationship, and it was kind of weird because we were so close to each other, and we would literally be joined at the hip like every weekend. But I don't know. Things change, people change. So what can you do? The only thing in life you should be comfortable with is change. So honestly, I'm prepared for that. I'm ready. And anybody I meet from now on, like I'm definitely gonna be friendly, be cordial, but I'm not gonna really waste my time trying to foster lifelong relationships. Because at the end of the day, that's really not what it's about anyway. It's more about just having a meaningful connection, and that's it. Really, it's not about how long you're friends with somebody. It's just about the fact that you are friends with somebody. So it's cool, honestly. Um, because some people would anyway.
Sorry,
Friends
I
of the
had to get
opposite
rid of that
sex
noise here,
are
man.
something that I feel like it can be possible, but it's very risky because depending on the depth of your relationship, um, you know, things get involved, and feelings, and you do different things and you have different experiences with somebody, and it can just greatly affect your emotions toward them. But yeah. So in my personal experience, I've had plenty of female friends, obviously. And it wasn't all situations where like I was just kind of like talking with them because I wanted to like, like be with them or like get with them or something like that. Like no, like we were like genuinely like cool. Like sex was the last thing on my mind in most cases for a lot of them. So, I mean, of course, like some of them, like you're attracted and you want to do some things, but it doesn't always have to like turn into that. So, yeah, I had a couple of female friends in high school, middle school. Mm, not really so much, but I mean, enough, I guess. High school, I made a lot more friends, male and female. We had great relationships. We all had fun. Um, in various things we did, like class, or for the times that we did like link up and like go out. Always had a blast. It was a fun time. Um, I feel like back around that time, it would have been kind of like counterproductive for things to get sexual between me and female friends, because then it would be like weird every time I saw them, and like the vibes would just be off, and that's not what we needed for the friend group. So yeah. Um, but even the girls too that I was friends with, a lot of them I really don't talk to today. And I wasn't like super duper close with them to the point where it like hurts like really, really bad, but like nobody's happy to lose friends. I mean, I, there was a point in time where we were all like this, and now like you text them, you'll be lucky if they reply within an hour. It's like mm, things change, people branch out, and yeah, I can't really be mad. It's just honestly the way life goes, to be honest. So right now, today, in this moment, do I have friends? it's kind of complicated because I have people I'm cool with, but this kind of goes back to the question I asked before. Um, can guys and girls really be genuine friends and that's it? So in that area, what I'll say is I have a few girls I'm seeing and talking to, whatever. Um, we have good relationships. Everything is nice so far. Um, but yeah, so I guess you could say I'm dating a few girls, but I mean that's really it. Um, I love my family, my cousins, some of my best friends, and I feel like a loser saying that. It's like, oh wow, your friends are your family. Who isn't? But like, honestly, like family bonds are something that we all need, but we don't all have. So I am very grateful for my family. Love them, my cousins, everything that I grew up with, my true day ones, honestly. Um, so yeah, I'm confident that anything I do in the future, if I find somebody who has similar interests and they're kind of on the same path as me and they have the same goals as me, then I feel like naturally our paths will cross. And if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. You know, you don't want to try to force friendships because that can make them very awkward. You want it to be organic. You want it to be natural. So if somebody's gonna be your friend, then they don't feel like it's forced. You don't feel like it's forced, and you guys are just vibing out together. So yeah, I don't have all the friends in the world right now, but I'm confident that as more time passes and I do more things and experience more life, I'm absolutely gonna meet more people who I share common interests with and things like that. So yeah, even if I don't have all the friends in the world right now, I'm sure that the ones that I will have, the ones I'm meant to have, they'll come. So yeah, I'm 25. I don't really have too many friends, but it's cool. It's your boy. Let them know Zoe. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'm out.
In the summer of 1978, I interviewed a man who worked as an informer for the FBI during the 1960s. His name is Dothard Perry, also known as Ed Riggs, also known as Bill Perry, also known as Othello. How are you? Nobody used to grease out the farmer. He make me see an honesty the first time. I keep it real with me friend through the tough time. Cause I remember him bust me enough time. Cause the life is one big road full of ups and downs and one leave enough sign. But you them trick him and not dip him and them send him back a yard with nothing from foreign. Now me now go this him now go turn me back on him like a chicken and follow them scorning. Cause I remember when he popped up and set up shop, is about that he must send down barren. So now that him there and him can't afford siren, me now go feed him and quarrel. Now me now go switch from me friend through the rough times. Cause I remember him saved me enough times. When nothing happened, him used to grease up the barber. He make me see and it be the first time. I keep it real with the friend through the tough times. Cause I remember him bust me enough times. You see life is one big road full of ups and downs and one leap enough sign. Cause I remember good times past bygone when you're the only one that we could rely on. So me I tell you the truth, my youth, all when you're broken down to us, then you are my done. And then we used to sleep on the divan. And when you bust, you make we ride and try fun. And round up for them, still you wanna hide on. But no matter how rough is the type, man, me now go switch from the friend through the rough time. Cause I remember him saved me enough times. When nothing happened, him used to grease up me mama. He make me see and if it the first time. I keep it real with me friend through the tough times. Cause I remember him bust me enough times. You The life is one big road full of ups and downs and one leap and upside. You see a friend in need, he's always a friend indeed. And all what them send you back home with nothing, well, me glad say you there as it speed. Now one thing, how them a push up them out to a foundation long time from the road. Talk them and talk them can't get you out. Come in there you think east west part. All over so me never switch from me friend to the rough times. Cause I remember him saved me enough times. When nothing nobody used to grease off the farmer, he make me see an honest in the first time. I keep it real with me friend through the tough times.
All right.
I remember him bust me enough times. It's a life is one big road.
I tell you.
Ups and downs and one leap and upside. We now go switch from the friend to the road.
I think we all gone through them type of life there, you bet. The ancestral voices, the voices of the young people, them. The challenges that they face. Oi. Hey, well, boy, I'm telling you, there's been enough times that we have to go look for the welfare of others as well, you know. And even in the listening of that young man there, as he was saying, you know, through his time that he's gone through, and obviously he's going through the natural things of life, right? And you know, he's been facing the dilemma of his moral standards, his cultural awareness, which I'm very glad that he displayed there, and obviously standing up for his convictions. Standing up for his convictions, because there's many a person who has lost their way, right? When they're amongst those who are the majority. For instance, if you're working in an environment, you're working in a place where you're surrounded, outnumbered, right, by certain people, and you are the only one that stands there that look like you, right? Are you going to go along to get along? Or are you going to show them a different life, or show them a different level of living? Who is it that is going to be outstanding? Because I'm going to tell you now, and from personal experience as well, even years after you find out, say, that people are talk about you in a bad way behind your back, right? They must scheme and a deem for you, right? Preventing you to actually progress in your life, right? They will set their time and do that. They will set their time and do that. Yeah? Right? They will mess up everything for you. Right? Just for you not to get through in your life. Right? Just for you not to get through in your life. That's what they will do. That is what they will do. Yeah? But then again, that's when you realize, sometimes you will realize way down the line how people really feel about you. And then do you do something about it, or say something about it, or do you just allow them to carry on with their foolishness? Huh? Carry on with their little schemings behind your back? Or do you highlight it to them, say, yo, I see you, I know you, right? And everybody's going to know about you and your ways. Huh? Do you do it? I remember I've done that quite a few times. I've done that quite a few times when people feel say that they can go on with their little racist, little rubbish around me, involving me in it. Wrong move that. The wrong move. Because they have this thing called like the human resources department. The human, you know. Oh, I could report you to the human resources. I'm gonna tell you now, there ain't no human resource that ain't gonna be saving your ass from me. That won't save you from me. Because I'll come directly to you in front of everybody and tell you about yourself. If you want to go run there and go tell them about your racist little ways, not a problem. You go there and tell them, and I will tell them exactly the same thing again, right? In front of them too. Funny enough, they never mention a word or anything again, right? Or they learn their lesson. They learn their lesson from that. Not a problem, though. That's not a problem. Because if they learn their lesson from that, then they know where they can stay far from me. Yeah. And even to say, okay, then you would have friends. Work friend, my back foot. Let me tell you something again. As you leave that door there, so them forget about you. So don't even try that. Oh, this is my work friend. And I like how some of you women go on with, oh, this is my work husband and all them foolishness there. Don't you believe it? Greetings, my brother. Greetings.
Yes, greetings, Brother Aston.
Yes, Kingman.
So the judgment has been passed here,
Mm.
and because the brother got mental health issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's into mental care institution for indefinite.
You're joking.
What the families of the victims wanted, right? They wanted to have a double life sentence and put in prison, yeah?
Mm.
Because of the mental health issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
The judge decided that was a part, that played a big part
Mm-hmm.
in murdering them. And so he's been confined to a high security, mental institution in Nottingham.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm good. I'm happy with that. Because
but he's got an indefinite stay on that then, isn't it?
Yeah, but what they wanted, right, was prison sentence, double life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what they wanted, and the family said that they think they've been let down.
Mm-hmm. Gone.
So now, white people know how we feel when it's a system lets us down.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I don't think this for no white people because they're all full of crap, right? And it comes on down to my next point about what you just said about the work situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's in work, right? And if you don't, then that means you're either a liar or you can't see what's going on, right?
Exactly.
Right? Particularly if you're a black man, right? And you're not very sellout black man, you're not the coonish type black man, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will find a way to get rid of you, man. And I've been victim of it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I remember working in the environment, right? And I was only African man there, right?
There you go. Yeah, go ahead.
But there's about 3 or 5 African sisters, right? And I used to talk to them, right? Instead of the white girls, right? And you can tell that was a problem with the white women there. And why I would talk to these African women, right? And not talk to them. Right? So I used to go and break with the sisters, talk to them, say hi to them, that kind of thing, and you know what I mean? And you know you go to the box of the white people there, you know what I mean? And the Asian, right? So there's some Asian people there as well. And especially when you come to the Christmas nonsense, right? This thing that they call, what do you call it? Secret Santa, that bullshit, right? And then, there's a photo that people do, right? I didn't take part of it, right? The sisters, but that's the evidence. I'm not going to chastise the sisters because they got to do. But for me, I didn't engage myself in that rubbish foolishness, right? You know what I mean? But just to go on show the story, right? They contrived to get me sacked, basically.
Yes, because you're not one of them. You're not playing the right man.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I'm not playing the game. I'm not that fake smile. You know, white people come in the morning to work, right? And with that fake smile, so it's so fake, right? It's so obvious. I mean, but me not into that. I remember, and I remember that time, right? Some Asian woman asked me why, you know, because you hear some of these Asians, right? Some of them are fakers, or some of them also want to get into the Christmas spirit, right? And she asked me, how come you don't celebrate Christmas then? I'm a spiritual, right? I'm not a Christian, I'm a Muslim. I'm a spiritual thing, right? I'm a spiritual tradition, right? And she kind of looked at me funny. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and even one white guy says that, oh, he tried to take a mick of me about that, because they try and take the mick. I mean, he's like, I'm a spiritual guru. You know, I mean, like
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, let me tell you something. It's exactly the same with me, because there was a couple of them boy they will come there, and I think they'll, if I remember the religion, what they were saying, they were like born again Christian or something, but they were two cousins, yeah. And they were very spiritual within themselves, right? So, respectfully, I just say, well, you know what, you're doing what you're doing and everything. But they would come and keep asking me questions, one after the other,
I
right?
mean,
Like they would keep coming asking me questions about spirituality and how this thing and that war and that thing, and then how do I feel about
yeah,
this? And I'm
yeah.
thinking, are you both um playing one against the other, and then finding out what question you can ask me each day?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And they said, no, no, it's just interesting that you're very spiritual, but you're not a Christian in that way. You're not a spiritual like that, or you're Muslim or something, but you know about all of this. And
Yeah.
I goes, but that's standard. Everybody should know about everything, you know,
Exactly.
right? But that it kind of like really put a baffling thought into their head in that way,
Of course,
you
good.
know.
Because they don't think that all of us are A Christians,
Mm,
and all of us, right? They have this stereotype of black men, or
mm,
particularly black men, particularly whether they're white or Asian, right?
mm,
They think we all should be like this street guy, this
mm,
street, whoever the street guy is.
mm,
We all go talk about, yeah, you get me down, you get me down,
mm.
yeah, you get me, yeah, sick man, yeah,
Mm,
bro, yeah, man, you're sick in it, yeah.
mhm,
You're expected to behave and act like that,
mhm.
and then when you don't behave like that, right? They don't know how to approach you.
That's right. That's
And
right.
also, what's the more thing for me, right, is
Mm,
that when you got African name like me, right, they don't want to, they don't want to, pronounce your name, and they want to try and shorten your name. I said,
mm,
no, you can't do that with me, my name, man.
mhm, mhm. It's true.
You can call me Kwame, right, or you F off, right? And now this issue, particularly with the white man,
One
right?
of the things that I was always um I always made an emphasis on, if there was any person who was visiting, I would always learn how to pronounce their name properly, right?
Yeah,
And even when they give me like an English name or a Christian name, I say, no, 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 because what is your name? What does your parents call you?
yeah,
And they would tell me, and I say, okay, then, right, all right. And then I would get the phonics right and everything on there.
yeah,
And I would
yeah,
just address them by that name, right?
mm,
And they said, why do you do that? I goes, and I said to them, and I always say it to most of them, is that if you can't take the time to respect somebody's name and pronounce it properly, you don't have no
yeah,
respect for that person.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I find this with white men in particular, but not
Mm,
so much, not too much white men, but they
mm,
also, but white men.
mm-hmm,
White men, for their own bastard and insecure reason, right? They have a problem with non-European names
mm-hmm,
or non-Anglo names, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Sometimes I'll find out they used to call me, oh, that guy,
mm-hmm,
him,
mm-hmm,
right? I want to pronounce the name,
mm-hmm,
right? Because they know in their subconscious, right, that then the African names have deep spiritual meaning, right?
mm-hmm.
Importance. So because of that, right, they try and belittle you by calling you,
Okay. Yeah.
or him or something like that,
Mm-hmm,
that guy. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's why me, right? I don't have any white friends. I never have. You know what I mean? I don't have any Asian friends
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of the system, right? But Europeans, Caucasian, no, no.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
never have.
I could safely say that even now, it's extremely rare I would call up anybody that I known from my workplaces or previous workplaces. Very rare, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, I've got brother Carl on the line, right? And I have to say greetings to our sister Sandra. She's there waiting in the wings. Right?
Greetings, and I was just enjoying the conversation.
All right.
I didn't think
Greetings.
that was so bad.
Brother Carl, greetings, my brother.
Yes, greeting Brother Assen and greeting Brother Kwame and Sister Sandra in the wings waiting.
Yeah.
I shan't keep you long. Greetings, family. I just want to say I called up based on what Brother Kwame just said about the sentencing of the brother who's been sentenced to indefinite sectioning. Now, and Brother Kwame suggests that that's better than going to prison for life. I'm afraid that's the opposite. That is the worst sentence that any of us could from our communities anyway, could be subjected to in this country. For them, it may be that someone who they say they acted out of due to it, and so they could get released, and they could be sectioned for and be released in 6 months when they say, oh, they've recovered. But this indefinite sentence means for potentially his whole life, with no time for parole or anything like that. And the worst part of that sentence or that section is that when you've been sectioned in this country, it is the only time when you have no rights whatsoever. So if they determine that he needs to be medicated, he will be medicated, and no doubt they will medicate him, and he has no choice. He cannot refuse. They'll simply hold him down and pump him up with whatever they choose to. So, my dear brother Kwame, that is the worst sentence that could have. If he had been sentenced to prison, they might have said whole life prison, but he would not have been effectively killed, if you like. But if he could have been sentenced to prison and said, 30 years tariff or whatever. He has that hope. But the worst case scenario, as I said, if he had been sentenced to prison for his whole life, I'm telling you, in prison, prison is not necessarily as bad as what everybody probably believes, etc. I'm talking from a person who's when you're in prison on a whole life sentence, you get your own cell. You don't have to share with nobody else. You get fed 3 times a day. You have your and I'm not praising prison. I'm just saying the opposite to going in prison and being sectioned is that when you get sectioned, you simply have no rights whatsoever. And that is not something said by me. That's a fact. If they want to inject you with whatever, they'll do it.
So, but we can maybe discuss it on your show tomorrow, yeah. But what do you know under the Section 37 of the Mental Health Act? Because that's part, because we were in court, like I said, we were in court in the one, right? But this is one of the parameters of which I've put the brother in that indefinite mental health institution. So under that Section 37 of the Mental Health Act, right? What do you know about that?
What I know, my brother, I don't know specifically about Section 37. I'm responding to what you said, what you rang up and said, is that the brother has been sectioned indefinitely.
Yeah.
That means that there is no period to when that ends.
That's right.
That could be to when he dies, or whatever. But that's a loop. That's a potential loophole that they can use for themselves. Because if they determine somebody amongst them, for instance, they had a breakdown and that's the only reason why and then 6 months time they could say that they've fully recovered and so on and so forth, and that person's committed a heinous crime, gets out. They could use that. They would probably use that for the benefit of them, but they know they're not going to. We know they're not going to use that. They've said indefinitely. That is longer than forever, if you like. You know, there's no end date.
I've got the details of the case, right? And I can share that with you on you know on your show tomorrow, yeah. But like I said, you know, the brother had a history, just to kind of put a pin on this, right? You know, wrap on this, right? The brother had a history of mental illnesses, right? You know, as far back as 2019, right? And essentially, right, he was failed by the system. The mental health institution in Nottingham, he wasn't given the appropriate care and treatment that he needed.
Okay. Yeah. All right, my brother. Look. So now he will get the care, that the treatment that they deem him to need. That's my point. They will now inject him with whatever they want. He'll be injected out of his mind. Yeah, that's what will happen. He won't have any. They will have absolute control over him. That is my point.
All right then. Okay, let's listen. I've got Brother Akram. Greetings. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So for me, that's what I just wanted to say. We are under. Sorry.
Okay.
Was that me asking for?
No. I've got Brother Akram on the line. Okay, brother. Critical thinker. Please come.
Just a quick comment.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm not going to stay too long.
Yeah.
Just to back up on what Brother Carl is saying. Yeah, I know a brother. Yeah, was chatting. He said to me one day, this is just a quick brief story. Example. He was driving his car. Yeah, he's burning a spliff, and the police stopped him, and an altercation come between him and the police. Yeah, they arrested him, and they sectioned him. And he said, in this place here, it's in London. He said, in this place here, you see a big Russian man coming there, like literally like sober. Nothing was wrong with him. Big, stocking, strong Russian man. And he said, within a few weeks, they turned him into a baby. And he had to write to his girlfriend. He had to send a message to his girlfriend. And his girlfriend had to contact his sister and to try and help him get out. He got out, yeah. He got out of there. But he said, a lot of people are trying to claim insanity, thinking that they're going to get an easy ride in a mental institution.
Indeed.
But like Brother Carl said, it's worse. It's worse. He said they were pumping people, they were injecting people. He said he was so glad to come out of there. He says it's worse than prison. He says it's worse than prison. That's all I want to say. So if anybody get into any kind of altercation with the police, do not decide to go into a mental institution, because they will mess you up.
And that could be a life sentence in itself anyway, because you'd be obligated to be taking medication if you get released as well. So anyway, greetings, my sister Sandra. Greetings,
brother. Greetings. I was just looking up from a legal point of view in the Mental Health Act, and I agree with what Brother Carl and others are thinking and or saying, that in terms of that brother. So if they didn't catch him, if he had mental illness before and they didn't catch him, when he could potentially speak for himself, or someone could speak or advocate on his behalf. Now they've caught him and they've put him in that environment. It's a hospital instead of prison, but yeah, there is, unless there's someone advocating for him, he becomes a pincushion.
I think it was inevitable, because like under the circumstances that he was arrested, that was one of the first things that they actually said that they were holding him on anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was inevitable that he was going to go that way, but they were seeing if he was sane enough to actually be trialed as a proper person to actually go to prison directly as well. So anyway, so that's the fate for that young man as it stands there right now. Right. So that's how it is right there, right now. Right. Right. Let me try again. Let me try again with this one here. Oh no, no, no. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. He may call back later on. Make the call back later on.
Okay.
Anyhow, so on the
Give
mid.
thanks, Brother Aston. I'll listen. I'll continue to listen offline. Yeah, I just
Okay then.
wanted to make that interview. Sorry
Okay.
about the interruption.
No, no, no. It's not an interruption. It's what we have to be able to converse about anyway. You see, we shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't be
Indeed.
afraid to be talking about any subject at all, right? So therefore,
Indeed.
just bring the
Indeed.
conversation and let's go through it in our way. Yeah. Yeah.
Indeed. And I think earlier, if I just very, very quick comment, because I think earlier you was talking about the service that you and your mother received. Was it from the NHS?
That's right. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. And I just wanted to say, my first and only ever experience of the NHS was when I was in my 20s. And I think I had to have an operation to remove a cyst. And even in my 20s, back in those days, I woke up in the morning in the hospital with a nurse sitting by the head of my bed. And I just, for me, I'm a great supporter of the NHS, because people who go in there with the right, for the right reasons, and it's just to deliver service, and those that do it with their heart, they do an excellent job. So yeah, I wanted to big up those people who you were bigging up as well.
Yeah.
With regards what you and your mother experienced, and
Exactly.
love to your mum also.
Yeah. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah.
All right, my brother.
All right.
Bless. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, mama's love, man. Gee, anyhow. I just had this vision. You know those big oversized badges. You know when they go, oh, you like it's your birthday and you got this massive oversized badge. I've got one with Mama's Boy or something like
that. Say loud, say proud. Why not? Why not? We may say, but then after a while we forget, or someone may hear us say it, but then something else comes into our mind, we forget. But when you see it and hear it, it then becomes
absolutely
a beautiful memory.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anyway, that was then. As I say, that I thank all the staff that did help me, and was helping my mother that day at the Moorfield Eye Hospital there. Right. So welcome, my sister. Good grand risings. Habari. Yes, that's hi.
No, I did hear you started the show with the translations and helping us as Galaxy family to come to terms and just to understand deeper in terms of even the simple things, greeting someone with a hug, because that's normal within the culture.
Exactly.
Rather than standing 10 feet away and saying hi. It's not normal to converse in that way, or to greet, or to meet someone in that way. And these are the little etiquettes that we have dismissed because we want to be seen to fit in to some degree into the society that we're living in. So we don't tend to do the hugging as such, or we say, okay, well, I'll do it amongst my brothers, but you guys from the Caribbean, you don't understand, so I do it with you. And we need to break down or dispel some of those myths and or lifestyle choices.
Definitely. I have seen some practices that if you don't know about them, you would say, "What? That's strange. It's like when some people greet an elder, right? They would literally go down on their knees in front of that elder, and then the elder would like touch them on the head or so, and then they would rise there, I know that some places in Nigeria they literally prostrate themselves. They lay on the floor in front of their parents and elders as well. You know, so in that way, they are, is a form of like showing respect as well. I actually saying that I recall that when Anthony Joshua won one of his titles, right? That his mother came into the ring and he laid on the ground. He laid on the ground, right? And as a form of respect to her, right? And obviously the commentators, I think they were just they didn't know what to say because obviously they didn't know what was going on. They didn't know what was going on, but that is one of those things that you would do, but you would see it that they like a person would come in and they would like touch the ground or something like this to in front of an elder. In other words, they would do that as a gesture.
Yeah.
So
it's the practices. That means you're thinking, as a younger person, you are giving respect to the person who is older than you, an elder, and it indicates then that you're prepared to listen and respect. And I don't know. Well, I can say in some senses we've lost that because everything merges and the younger ones are talking to their elders as my mother would say, as if me and you is size, rather than respecting the fact that this isn't my first rodeo. I've done this, understand, and there's knowledge and wisdom that can be gleaned. You're prepared to listen. Sometimes the younger ones aren't prepared to listen because they know it all.
So let me say,
as an elder, I've been there, done that. Those conversations I had with my parents, and you know what? It didn't work then, and it's not going to work now. So exactly. It's a beautiful way just to live, because if it comes back to that mentality, it's a village that raises a child. It's just not one individual, and that knowledge and that wisdom will help to bring that child into maturity with a mindset that isn't just about me. It's a mindset about the collective.
Yes. Definitely. One of the things I've always admired as well, right, is obviously the strength of the family unit, and then the way how the various places and the various regions display that, right? And it's one of those things of that you would see, for instance, like when you would meet somebody and they would say, oh, how do you try to determine somebody's character? And then you would just ask them questions like, how do you get on with like your father? How do you get on with your mother, your family? And even from those answers there, like, oh, well, they're there, but I don't really talk to them and all that. You can determine the characteristics of that person straight away. Right? And like even for us who are looking to see a form of harmonious living, right? And always looking for that pathway of unification, right? Then you could see from various other people who you would have around you in that way as well, right? That expression that's coming to my mind now was, it show me your friends and I tell you who you are. Yeah. It's not everybody you would have around you, right? Very much in line with like what we're saying with the show. Oh, sorry, what was saying with the ancestral voices this strong, right? There's a young man obviously growing up in a multicultural area, right? But obviously his friends made the decisions for him in the sense of that they knew that his standards of who he wasn't in line with them. So it wasn't him who didn't have any friends. They chose not to be friends with him mainly because of the way how he was living. Yeah. And it's very, very, very similar to myself, very similar to myself, that my standard of how I was living and what I saw as value in life was completely different to a lot of people. Hence, that's why they look at me and say, "Oh, he must be a police," right? You know. But it's one of those things, and if you're comfortable, well, you do become comfortable with that. In that, you know what, this is me. That is you. So, yeah.
Yeah, because for me, when I was listening to the ancestral voices, and the brother was speaking about one of his friends that he'd had for years, and he didn't like the N word, and he'd obviously said it to his friend, and even years later, his friend still throwing it into a conversation, which, as much as he was making allowances for his friend, as in continue the friendship, that was always going to be, we were going to drift apart because of how you converse and how I converse, and respect that I have for you is that I will listen to what you're saying, but I won't say things or do things that will annoy you, frustrate you, or upset you. And that's what friendship is. Whereas his friend thought, well, it's just language, so what difference does it make? I've explained my stance, my perception. So if we can't have a conversation without you using that language, and we both all know a connotation that it has, and we both all recognize where we're at and where we've come from, then it's not so much we're going to part ways, but we just drift apart. And that's a normal thing. And I know I was listening to someone recently, and they were saying, in terms of friends and friendship, and my response was that you can't take everybody with you. We all have our own journeys, and within that, there may be friends that will be what they say, season, reason, or a lifetime. There are friends that will be there regardless of, right through. There'll be some friends that were there just for a season because that was meant to be. You were on your journey, and your journey meant you crossing paths with that individual. Or it was something short. You just wasn't meant to be friends because the energy and the levels just wasn't appropriate for any further conversations and or friendship, or basis of any friendship. So, yeah, what that brother said was interesting in of itself.
And I think it's very timely as well. Very timely as well, because many go through that transition period of going through even life. We have to realize that, people are here for a season. Some are there for, the duration, right? But it's very rare that you will find somebody that you've known from when you were like a young child, and go into your adulthood, and you're still there, and you're still friends, right? I probably got about 4 or 5 people like that, right? Who I can say, yeah, okay, I could call them up and we'd chat and whatever, you know. But apart from that, look how many that there has been, right? But I mean, like in my day, we had classes of over 50,
Yes. Yes.
right? We had over 50 of us in a class. So imagine now, if every one of them was still, we was all still like, oh wow, we're still meeting up and we're still this and that and everything else, so it would seem impossible in some cases. this, but that's how some people feel that, oh, it's always going to be like that. But it's not. It never is like that. Never is.
Well,
You know?
it's like you said in terms of that quote, in terms of show me your friends.
Mm.
And sometimes as young people, they feel uncomfortable, or they almost think, hang on a minute, why are you doing that? Why are you carrying on? Because they're just a friend. But as an elder, as an adult, you've already gone down that journey, and you can see that sometimes people say, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Mm.
And the question I'd ask is, were you in the wrong place at the wrong time, or is it the friendship group that you have, which means your thinking is slightly clouded because
Mm-hmm.
you didn't necessarily want to be there, but you went there to follow your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Friend was on his own mission. He or she was on their own mission. So it's an interesting thought that young man was having, and the fact that he recognized it showed the maturity.
Without him, probably, and possibly without him even realizing at the time.
Mm, mm,
Right? So the thing is that he's probably going to develop into a person that will attract a lot of people as well.
yeah. Just because of how he's thinking.
Yeah.
And if we think about energy and we think about what vibrations we put out there, the friends that you attract are part of that vibration. Vibrational pull. You'll either be pulled into a circle and feel comfortable within that circle because everyone's collectively, you're all on the same wavelength or the same energy pattern. Or if you're pulled into a circle and you realize the energy is not right, you'll just bounce out.
Yeah, it will eject you.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say it will eject you. I'd say you'd make a conscious decision to step away.
Yeah.
Because I would say that it becomes more of a consideration when you start thinking on a different energy frequency. There's things you'll hear and you're thinking, you know what, I'm not necessarily comfortable with it, and you're not going to say, oh, I'm just going up there with the person just because they're a friend. You'll make a choice to say, you know what, you go, I'll catch up with you. And later on you might find that they found themselves in some form of trouble, and you think to yourself, well, that was an escape. No, it wasn't an escape. That was a conscious decision you made not to go.
Yeah.
Because of how you're thinking and the energy that you're putting out there.
Yes, that intuitive feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Anyhow, so I was faced with a invitation to go to a meeting, right? And what it is that we're going to be discussing some community issues, mainly around the shootings and stabbings in the Brixton area. So this is one of the initial meetings to just see what we can actually see and do or try to put in place that we could actually take actions towards this. Now my thing is that I've known of other groups and organizations that have been very active in bringing awareness to this, right? But it's to find the next level, right? My question to you is, right? Because just like how we have it over here, and I know that in Jamaica that they are very active in safety, right? So apart from the curfew, which would probably be a good thing in some ways, right? Apart from having a curfew, have you noticed anything, or do you see anything that is effective in your area, for instance, like where you live, if it's necessary?
What in terms of, so it's not necessary in terms of the area where I live, from a crime point of view or from a disorderly point of view, it's not necessary, not in the same way as it is in some of the other parishes. You see, so if you're thinking low level, you're seeing police on the street and just stopping and just doing the traffic warden type function, ensuring from a driver's point of view that they're driving with either the due care and or the seatbelt. So it's more the seatbelt and just checking that they've got the appropriate papers, etc., etc. But there isn't anything, like I said, in terms of some of the other parishes where they're having to make stronger decisions in terms of safety and ensuring then that everyone feels comfortable and safe within the environment.
Okay. Because, like, you know, in one of the things is that obviously that, you know, that they face it. I would say mainly because of the smaller population, I think, as well. So it has more of an impact in the community, you know. But over here, obviously, things could happen literally like 2 miles away, and you wouldn't even know if you're not in that circle of knowledge. Yeah. So, you know, even for instance, we was at a demonstration on on Saturday, right? And as a result of that, it was highlighted that there were two major and one fatal um, incident, and we wasn't even aware of that, right? And yet that was within half a mile of where we were demonstrating. You know? So hence that's why we're going to be having this meeting to see what we can do, put things in place or something in place to really bring some highlights here, because obviously we don't want continued reports of people being murdered, first of all, random attacks, right, and the viciousness of these attacks that is happening right now. And as a result, you know, yes, there are those who are being killed, right? But if we can prevent or put it into the mind of some of them to just say, you know what, we don't need to be part of this, right? This would be, in my opinion, a brilliant step forward that is absolutely necessary for many to even see and to be part of. Because why? There's many of them, you know, and I'm only surmising here. I'm just surmising that a lot of them are doing things mainly out of necessity, right? Homelessness, right? Poverty, yeah, poverty, and literally the lack of just having the essentials. And we're not talking about luxury. We're not talking about luxury items like, wow, I'm saving up to buy a house or something like, you know, or something like that. It literally is like a hand to mouth. No, in some of the cases, it's hand to mouth, you know. So, you know, and unfortunately, that the violence that's associated with it, we're hoping that it will filter down to those who are involved in there, because, you know, it'd be very rare if those who are actually directly involved in those acts actually come to any form of like demonstration or meeting, you know. They always seem to be spearheaded by or facilitated by ex-gang members, right? Or people who's gone through like on the case of the well-being, the mental well-being. You'll find that there have been people who have been patience
Mm-hmm.
previously,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in many ways, it can be kind of off-putting, just saying, oh, are we gonna, do we want to even want to go to those things? But let's get the message out there. I think that the important thing is to get the message out there and to spread the message as well.
Mm-hmm.
So even through us here on the galaxy, and
Mm-hmm.
you can go and repeat, you can go and share this message even on on the YouTube, from the YouTube or the Facebook, right, on Blacknificent Radio Show, right. But we're going to be, as I said, I'm going to be attending this meeting this afternoon or
Mm-hmm.
this evening here after the show this
Mm-hmm.
evening, and hopefully we'll be able to get some positive feedback and actions as well from there as well. So, I, don't- in all honesty, it's an open book. So let's see what we can do. And yeah.
So a couple of things that you said there,
Hmm.
in terms of what I would hope in terms of being there,
Hmm.
that you don't spend, so if you're there for an hour, you don't
Mm.
spend 55 minutes talking about the problems,
No,
because we all
exactly,
know what
exactly.
problems are,
Hmm.
or we've got a handle or an idea, and we could do the problems for the whole hour and 10 minutes, the next 20 years,
Hmm.
solving the, we're not looking, we're looking at the issue, but we're not doing anything with what we've got. We're just kicking the
Hmm.
can down the street again,
Hmm.
again and again. So I don't necessarily mind if it's a gang leader, ex-gang leader, or someone who's been in it, through it, whatever, because they will have done something in order to get out, which may help us. Their voice is going to be just as valuable as yours, but it's,
Hmm.
let's do some solution busting.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying solution as in magic wand and it's going to happen overnight, but I'm saying taking those little steps that we can start to change that vibration. We can
Hmm.
help the young people to make different choices, which says, you know what, I'm not going to go out there with you, friend, this evening. I'm going to stay in my yard.
Hmm.
I'm going to do something that makes me feel happy, rather than just walking behind you or walking next to you or walking with you. And when we're out there, then I've got to play with my mind and think, you know what, I don't feel comfortable with the way that we're squaring up, or even the conversations that we're having.
Hmm.
As much as the one-eyed monster isn't necessarily the best thing, then in some senses that might be the best place to be, watching that one-eyed monster rather than out on road. And it's not.
Also, one of the things as well, I mean, for those who are in a household with their parents, right, is to make their home environment more amicable, because sometimes, as a young person, you're just itching to just get out,
Mm,
go out. Maybe even if you go and say, you know something, okay, then let me go and just sit downstairs with you.
mm, mm, mm,
You know what I mean?
mm, mm,
It's not like you're overseeing or anything like that.
mm,
It's just being in the area with them.
mm, 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 mm,
Yeah,
mm,
right. You see them hanging about on the corner. Go and hang on the corner with them. See what going on.
mm, mm, mm,
Yeah, even something like that.
mm.
Yeah, let them find out. Let them see that you are.
You care. You're
Yeah, you
interested.
care. You're
Interested.
caring, right? And it's not like you're gonna go there and like a street preacher, to tell them this or that, whatever, right? It's just to say, you know what, we are concerned for you, but we're not here to interfere with you in that way,
Mm,
because youngs are youngs,
mm,
right?
mm,
They'll go out there and they'll interact and they develop or whatever. But like, we want to see, we want you to grow up in a safe environment, and if it means say that, boy, yeah, what, I've got to come out here for an hour, I've got to be with you for an hour or something like this out on the road,
mm,
right? Then so be it.
mm,
So be it. You understand,
mm,
right?
mm, mm,
You know, just to sort of like be in presence, make yourself a presence as well. You
mm.
know, it's only a suggestion. It's only a suggestion. You know, because I don't. You know.
So what I would suggest, and you mentioned it in terms of I think when he was talking to Brother Carl and he was apologizing for bringing his perception of
Mm.
the sentence.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the words that you said is that what we will aim to do is that there's no conversation which is off limit. So
Mm-hmm.
home, that should be the same viewpoint, that there shouldn't be any conversations that's off limit. So we
Mm-hmm.
should have the conversations about politics, religion, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the case may be. We shouldn't just say, okay, we're going to talk about the safe topics,
Mm-hmm.
something that's bothering you, rather than me still cooking and listening to you, because I'm not listening to you if I'm cooking, because I don't want to cut my finger or burn the rice or whatever. Let me stop what I'm doing and
Mm-hmm.
listen, and really listen,
Mm-hmm.
really, really, really listen, not with
Mm-hmm.
the thought of I'm going to answer all your questions, because there may not be a question there. There just may be a verbalization of what they're thinking. They're not asking for your opinion. They're checking to see whether or not you're listening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And once they realize that you've zoned out and you're not listening, then you know what? They're going to talk to someone who may listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
May not necessarily be the person who's going to give them what they actually need.
Well, even that, even actions like that, and we're not saying that. Oh, we're gonna be saving the whole everybody. No, 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 no. We have to provide an alternative,
Mm, mm,
right?
mm,
Because what I recall when I was 14. Yes, I was 14 at the time, and it came to the summer's holiday,
mm,
right? And you know, on there, and I was thinking, boy, this is the first day of the holiday. I ain't got no money. My mom ain't got no money. This is gonna be shite, man.
mm,
So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go and find a job,
mm,
right? And
mm,
then I went out, I went to various places, and I got a job working in a warehouse,
mm,
right?
mm,
Just like a stock handler,
mm,
yeah.
mm,
At the age of 14,
mm,
right? And
mm,
then right up until I left from there, I was doing that as like a little part-time little job, right?
mm,
Right up until I left from there to go and do my apprenticeship.
mm,
You know what I mean? So in that way, there it wasn't a burden on my mother,
mm,
right? And at least I had something in my pocket.
mm, mm, mm,
You understand?
mm,
And it's the same with some of these youngs.
mm,
They just need something in their pocket, man.
mm. But then
Just
where are they getting that something from? Because may not be going through the gainful employment and or entrepreneurship. They're
mm.
looking up at the bigger boys who have the nice trainers and etc. etc.
Obviously, and that is the thing is that, you know, but like just like how that young man, he made a decision,
Mm,
right? It's not everybody who's doing that wants to do that,
mm, mm,
right?
mm,
But it's there if they want to,
mm,
yeah. So
mm,
imagine now if we was to able to like say, you know something, we're going to go to Brixton Market. Everybody in Brixton Market is going to employ at least two young people.
mm, mm,
Everyone in
mm,
there,
mm,
right? That's
mm,
over 100 children right there, or young people in there,
mm, mm,
isn't it?
mm, mm.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're all got, that's over 100 young children in there. who's actually doing something rather than being like left to do to their own devices out on the street, right? Potentially, sorry, potentially doing it, right? Because it's not everybody, it's not every youth is that way inclined anyhow, right? And I think that, you know, even things like that, right, to encourage businesses to incorporate young people, barbershops, right, to have like one and two young people there to actually do something in the shop, right? Keep them to actually get them off the street to do something in the barber shop. You understand, right? Restaurants, things like that. You know what I mean, right? You understand? Each one of those businesses could extend something to a young person. Yeah.
And if you're thinking about it that way round, they may not necessarily be able to get because some of those businesses may turn around and say, from a pay point of view, they can barely have their own staff while they're going to take on a younger person. But maybe it's not necessarily about the pay; it's the environment that helps them to think differently, helps them to question and look at the situation that they're in differently. So that can be seen as a help rather than just leaving them to their own devices.
Don't worry, I've got 110 different ideas. Don't worry about that.
It's sharing those ideas, because it's not necessarily an idea for you to do yourself. It's an idea that someone else may be able to pick up and run with and say, yeah, from a barbershop. And I remember there was a barbershop, there was a conversation I was having with someone and who owns a barbershop, and he owns a barbershop. No, I was having a conversation with a friend, and she said her son was coming home from school and other boys were troubling him. He ran into the barbershop. He knew that he could run into that barbershop because he'd got his hair cut there in the past. But just knowing there are safe spaces for the young people who
you see,
run rather than square up, because they will live and fight another day. They've got somewhere safe to go into. And the adult within that premise doesn't fling them outside and say, go on, take it upon themselves, because most of us have got 3 minutes on our phone to phone his people and ask one of them to come and pick him up. And if the mother, the father can't do it, then, as we say, it's the village mentality. What about a parent, a grandparent, or a godparent, or a cousin, or a older brother or older sister? Is there someone else that can just come and just, you know what, we're closing at 6 o'clock, and if it means then that we're going to stay open a little bit later, just so we can ensure that this young man feels comfortable, or this young sister feels comfortable, then we do that. We don't just say, yeah, it's now all is clear, go out on the road and make your way home, because no, whatever frightened them to run into your establishment in the first place, might still be there. So let's get them home safely.
Yeah. You know, there's many a thing that we have to see. I mean, like you know, as I say, even to patrol the streets as well, right? You know, these are the type of things that we have to really be part of as well, as a community, just to even patrol the streets ourselves to ensure, say, boy, you know what? It's not just the high street; it's these side streets as well, where some of these things are happening. Yeah. But if they know, say that, boy, there's going to be people walking up and down, and they're specifically, right, patrolling for those type of behavior and those patterns there and everything else. And like, you know, after a while, you get to know all the youngs in the area. or the people in the area. And, let's say the only thing that we're interested in is to prevent the loss of lives. Right? What else do you are do? You are do. Right? But we just want to ensure that there is the prevention of loss of lives. That's all there is. Yeah.
Let's see if we can curb that behavior, which has now become a norm, and we don't want it to become a norm. We don't want to have a conversation and every other conversation becomes okay. So and so, did you hear, etc., etc. We don't want to be having those conversations. We want to be celebrating their achievements, and they're celebrating their life, and say, rather than such and such, this happened to them, it's becomes such and such. Did you hear what they did? Oh, they became open their own business, or they were the top one in their class, or they graduated, or they playing that instrument, or the whatever. They're doing something.
Definitely. All right, then the lines are going to be open right now for 0203-289-6504. Right? Let me hear what you got to say.
Down goes yet another one. Black men can't breathe. Bloodthirsty white policemen raise his hate and greed. I'm just gonna stand and watch the killings of our soldiers. Hey. Mothers, father, brother, sister, well enough, be enough. We just gonna stand and plead for justice. Hey. When the system wasn't made for us, and the enemy, we can judge. Black people rise, rise, rise. Together we must take a stand. Together stand by her command. Black people rise, rise, rise. Only we can save ourselves. Only we, there's no one else. Whoa, down goes yet another one. Black men can't breathe. Bloodthirsty white policemen, racist hate and greed. Are we just gonna stand and watch this madness? Hey, when in each other we can truly trust. The more we live, the more we must. Remember, we are knowledge. We must stand with courage. Hey, against the system we must stand. For nothing else, do for ourselves. People rise, rise, rise. Together we must take a stand. Together stand by her command. Black people rise, rise, rise. Only we can save ourselves. Only we, there's no one else. Oh, why, oh, why? Hey, down goes yet another one. Black men can't breathe. Bloodthirsty white policemen raise his hate and greed. Are we just gonna stand and watch the killings of our soldiers? Hey. Mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, when we not be enough, are we just gonna stand and plead for justice? Hey, when the system wasn't made for us, and the enemies we can judge. Black people rise, rise, rise. Together we must take a stand. Together stand on our command. Black people rise.
Yes, black people rise. Black people rise. What you gonna say now, eh? Oh dear. One of the things, we have made a song about every scenario and every situation that we face. Eh?
We got the imagination in terms of speaking about our environment and our situations, and adding verse and song to it. And sometimes you think to yourself, yeah, that's possibly something we could have forgotten. not spoken about, but we do speak about it. And that song that you just played there, who was the author artist?
You're real up in the book business. Oh dear, oh dear. How you getting on with your book, anyhow? How you getting on with yours?
So for me, I don't have it with me. I was listening to something the other day, and I do want to include it within my one of my chapters, which is going to be a poem. And the way that the poem is read and the way that it's understood, it's just beautiful. It's a case of making contact with the author and seeing whether or not I could include that within the book. But yeah, the book is coming along. The book is in the right direction.
All right, good. Right. The artist of that last track there is called Junior Moore.
Okay.
Right? That's Junior Moore, which is Moore. Black People Rise. Okay. That's a track from a few years ago now. Actually, because of the date and everything, it would have been a year ago, but it's a few years now. That's still, you know. So life going on. So life goes.
Yes.
We're just easing through this timeline. I think that it goes. I think it goes at a slippery slope as it gets to the end, because it goes very quickly.
The question I'd ask is it goes quickly? Does it go quickly, or do we not set our plans and intentions? So if you don't set the plans and intentions, yeah, life will pass you by. If you set your plans and intentions, you will be more focused, and you will attract, because it going quickly effectively is what you're asking for. You're speeding up time.
Speeding up time.
Yeah, because you're not asking for nothing, so you're just lying down. So you lie down.
January just gone and slipped by. I mean, we don't even open my eye properly yet. Right? I don't even open my eye properly yet, and January done.
That's why you need to set your intentions, not the resolutions. You just tell the universe out there what it is that you are striving for.
Well, every Tuesday and Friday, I'm doing my 6 numbers, and I don't know yet.
Like I said, those 6 numbers, you're not meant to get those 6 numbers. You're not meant to.
Hey, shh, quiet yourself.
You know, that's not your jam.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. But now you effectively can't stop, because the one day you stop is the day you think you're going to get the numbers, so you don't stop.
Yeah. Well, anyhow. But still, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I really do hope that Saturday morning, right, when you see that phone going like this, you go, what do you want? No. What do you want? I know you're gonna hear is that's all you want to hear on the other end. Boy, we can laugh and joke, but still, you know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Yeah. It won't change my life much at all. I'll just be able to afford the life that I'm living right now. Yeah, dear.
Meeting that's going to happen this afternoon.
Yeah.
How many people are you?
I do not know.
Okay.
Because it's one of those spearhead meetings, right? So what comes out of it, I do not even know yet. So
Okay. No, because that's a indication of are we talking to the right people? So you say spearhead, so there may be others who want to get involved but don't know about it. So how do we reach those individuals?
Well, the thing is that I'm just feeling, we're just feeling what's there, what's the possibilities, yeah, and then from there we can see what direction we can take it in. To be honest, right? So that's the directive at this particular moment.
So are you able to share any details in terms of where the meeting will be taking place?
The meeting itself will be at the Mosaic on Effra Road from 6 p.m.
Okay.
Right. The Mosaic is a community space there.
Okay.
Right. A drop-in center and a community space right there.
Okay. So if people are familiar with the area
in Brixton. Sorry, in Brixton. Okay. It's just down the road from the Hootenanny music center, music venue. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because if it's the first meeting, there may be other brothers and sisters who are local, and those also local that just want to, just come pass by and just see what's happening. Energy is like. So I would say, definitely share the time and the location with the postcodes that if someone wants to put it in their sat nav phone or otherwise, they can do so, and support.
I mean, as I say, even to sort of like say how can we really involve the entire community, the whole of the areas, because like although we have it as a like a black on black thing, but it does affect others as well. So it's open to all in that way there, right? To say like, you know what, even if we go to the schools and like they are involved in the coordinating or part coordinating of the programs, the outreach programs type of thing, or some, or if it goes that way, obviously is to get the mindset of these youngs to say what alternative, what opportunity, right?
And I know in the past, young people will get together at a youth center or a youth club.
That's right.
The opportunity to let off steam.
Exactly. Even for the thought to reignite that conversation as well.
Are there places or areas that the young people can go to?
Exactly. Exactly. We've got Brother Akram. He's on the line.
Yeah, Grand Rising. Grand Rising too.
All right, Grand Rising. Can you
hear me okay?
Yeah, that's
your volume is a bit low.
Hold on. Can you hear him, okay?
I can hear him perfectly.
Yeah, I can hear a bit better now, yeah. But
okay,
but the volume has been very low, so I couldn't really get the full gist of every conversation. But but yeah, I just wanted to, if you're able to hear me okay, I just wanted to bring my 2 cents worth.
Yes, you can.
Please.
Yeah, I mean, I've been traveling around Dar es Salaam and, I'm here in Tanzania, and I'm just, every moment I'm thinking, such beautiful people, such, such solace among the people, what I'm saying? People just going around doing their own thing, like everyday person, people, what I'm saying? And like all they're interested in is getting the things that they want done. You know what I mean? I need to go and do work. I need to come home from work. I need to go and children. The same thing as everybody else.
Exactly.
And they ask themselves the question, why do these people want to come and disrupt other people's life? Huh? Why do they want to do that? Let people get on with their lives. You're dropping bombs. You're doing this. You're doing all sort of other things. You're going in setting up things to kill people, and and people just want to get on with their everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
The beauty. I'm telling you, the beauty, because as I said, the country I'm in at the moment, it's got a population equal to that of UK, or more or less,
Okay.
60 something.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority of the people you see is our people,
mm-hmm.
and they're also young people. You know what I'm saying? Vibrant, just wanting to go. I mean, I don't see much. They're not fighting each other. They're not stinging each other.
Okay.
You have
I
the
want to ask you a
who
question. I'd like to ask you a question on that. What is their view and their law policies that you know of against like social what do you call it again now?
What antisocial behavior?
Antisocial
asking
behavior.
about their culture?
Yeah.
You're asking about their culture?
Yes.
Well, here on the coast, because around the coast, because you have a mixture. You have near the coast, the people are mostly Muslim, and but you have Christians also. I mean, and one of the beauty of Julius Nyeri was that he brought when he sing the country, he tried to cut the divide, the tribal divide, and everything, so that people see themselves as one. So they also speak one language. So, I mean, although some of them may have their tribal language, and some of them probably don't even speak their tribal language because Swahili is so widely spoken, And one of the things that about the Swahili language is how it mellows people. Because from the time you're a child, you start have that great respect for your elders. It's important that when the young one meets the older one, that person must greet that person first.
Okay.
It must greet that person first. And I
do
think
you
that
do you see that in action at present day?
Oh yes, I mean, I see that in act everywhere. I mean, you'll get a lady police, you'll get a man police. As soon as you come up to them or they come up to you and they see you as an elder, they always greet you first. You know what I'm saying? They always that respect that is there for someone who is elder. Is just on unparalleled, really. It's just that they have that great respect for somebody who is elder. And I suppose that makes a lot of difference to the culture.
Yeah, but
it makes a lot of difference to the culture of the people.
This is one of the things because, like, as we're speaking this afternoon, right? I'm about to go and attend this meeting later on and addressing some of the issues we're having in our communities. Right? So it's just to get some outside information that possibly could help towards some of the resolutions that is required of in our community, like, right? And it's not a case of, oh, we're going to go over old grounds again. We possibly will do. Right? Because as each year goes on, you get um a new group of people coming through, right? Or a group of young people coming through, right? If they're repeating the same thing over and over again, right? Then obviously, this cycle has to stop somewhere, or there has to be some kind of prevention put in place so that it does stop. You know, it's a case of like really just saving lives. Right, saving lives, and that's basically one of the main things for me anyway as I'm entering into this. That when I'm hearing of these youngs that are still doing these murders, right? Or I wouldn't even say murders, that they're fighting and they're harming each other, You know, it does. Let's say it does hurt. It does dishearten me. It does dishearten me because like there's no real reason behind why these things are happening, and why our society is allowing it to happen either. Right? Our society is allowing these things to happen. So anyhow, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Anyhow, we're gonna see what kind of results we can get from this. Brother Akram? Right.
Yeah. You know, as I said, you're right. The thing is with the kindness of the people. You know, I keep looking and asking myself the question: why do we want to be in these other people's places that don't like us? You know, why do we want to be in those people's places that does not like us? It just begs belief and saying, what is it that we have there that we cannot have in our own land? You know, just walking among your people, and it's just so different, so different.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I realize that. I realize that. But you know, obviously, even for what you may see, there still is somewhere there's some kind of element out there, and it's just to find out how they actually deal with it themselves. You know, how they deal with those the antisocial behavior in that way. You know, because like we we always get told of like, oh, you know, if something happens, this is the law and how it will go. But in actual fact, how is actually things handled out there? You know. Any questions, Sister Sandra?
No, it's interesting just to establish, like you say, how they will act or interact in those communities on the continent, and recognizing, as Brother Akram says, it's a different energy. It's you're seeing people who more look like you. You're often believing the best in them and thinking the best of them. But we don't all have the opportunity to make that transition. So where we currently are, can we still not foster those same thoughts and or those relationships amongst those that we are communicating with and moving amongst on a day-to-day basis, for those of us that are still in the UK or in Europe, rather than in on the continent. So it's what do we do with what we've got, and can we, like I said, foster different relationships? And what you're doing and what you're aiming to do, just in terms of the conversations you're going to be having later on, is to look at how you can start to foster different relationships or have different conversations, and or catch the youngs before they find themselves in a situation that they would prefer not to be in. And that's with an institution, whether it be the police or the hospital.
These are things that we have to really we really have to sort of like look at in depth. We have to look at it in depth, and there's no wrong or right answer at this stage. There's no wrong or right answer, right? I was just reviewing a message that I've got here about, and it was pertaining to the meeting there as well.
Okay.
I may share it with us, because obviously this thing is becoming is getting some impetus now, and I feel, or momentum.
Well, my reasoning is it needs to be shared, because there are a lot of people, a lot of sisters like yourself out there who wish to see a different outcome for the young people that they are seeing on a daily basis and the ones that they're reading about. Because it used to be in the past, it was, you heard about it, but it was not close to you. But now that 6 degrees of separation is getting closer. So you know someone who knows someone who knows someone, or you know someone directly. And we want to change that narrative. So yes, please share the
Hold on, let me just see. I'm just trying to bring it up here. Where are you? Where are you? God, I just had it here. Hold on, let me just refresh the thing. If I refresh it, then it might come up. Come on. Where are you? Where are you? It's one of those things. As I say, I'm going into this meeting. Right, what the outcome will be, I do not know at this stage, but I'm hoping that it's going to be a very positive outcome. Right, don't know what's going on there.
Well,
I've got it on my phone, but I haven't got it on this thing here. Wait a minute, let me see.
I think sometimes we say to ourselves, don't want to go with preconceived ideas or thoughts. So you're putting on the glasses.
Exactly.
We're at the bottom of the bag rather than your proper glasses. But what we want to do, we want to start having those conversations.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, as I say, my initial thing is to save life. Right? Senseless murders of young people's life. You know, the one that really affected me for a very long time was Damanela Taylor.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You know, this young boy, and that when he transpires that the young people that actually did it, right, they were not that much older than himself, like, you know, which was crazy in my opinion, which was absolutely crazy. I couldn't believe, right, that this young man, right, was murdered by this group. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, you know, you know what I mean? Let's face reality here now. Let's face reality in the sense of that. Okay, then we got these young men. We got these young men, and they're just doing their bravado part. They're playing their bravado part as young men in the area, right? And then obviously, you know, accidents do happen. I would say accidents do happen, right? But the way how it was portrayed in the case, right? You knew that there was other things that was involved in this as well. And it was the first time, unfortunately, that the young man was caught with doing those type of things, and other associated things as well. So in that way, there it wasn't a case of, oh well, you know, it's just a one off or something like this, right? It was an ongoing issue that was being played out here. You know? So in that way there, and yeah, let me just give you the gist of this thing here. Oh, hold on. Where am I? Where am I? I'm doing the multitasking. I'm doing the multitasking, but it ain't coming out too good.
Well, there isn't no such thing as multitasking.
Violence. We've all seen the headlines. We've all felt the impact. Now it's time to talk about it.
Look, because together we can make a difference.
And we want you to join us on our Instagram live discussion. Is it too late?
Yes.
That's a hard one because from something is in you,
Yeah, something have to actually happen drastically for that to change.
Yes, it's too late. It's never too late to change. Change takes time, change takes commitment, and change sometimes takes a mindset shift.
You have to remember, innit? Opportunities only come to life in reality. But before they come to life in reality, you got things called ingredients. It's like a cake that you're baking, innit? And those ingredients involve patience. They involve planning. You understand? They involve goal setting. The system got the youths them running around chasing the instant thing. Like black people as a culture, we just sucked onto this thing like it's that's all we're about, innit?
And to say that it's too late is kind of saying that you're giving up. It's a lost battle. So it can never be too late. Because we can't give up. Just need intervention on all levels, in the home, in the family, in the community, in the schools, most importantly in the government.
It's never too late to help the youths. We can always help them. We've all just got to come together and apply ourselves. Yeah, it's not too late. It's never too late to reach nobody.
Yeah, especially if you're out there trying to survive, trying to make a life. You know what I mean? And there's no other way for you to do it.
No, it's never too late to fix up and look sharp. You know that it's never too late to leave that road thing alone. Do you know road thing is a long thing?
No, it's never late, baby. It's never late. Nothing for life is late. They have to change their minds as well and listen a little bit more. The people knows a little bit more than them and be with God, yes.
I don't think it's ever too late for a change. Our kids need to stop being desensitized to the topic. The government need to pull their finger out of their arse, and how is there ever going to be a change unless it's a national change?
It's not too late. Only they have to need to open their hearts to repent, to accept God.
It's not everybody is ignorant. You understand? Are illiterate. They know what they're doing.
I personally think that it's not too late, but there's a lot of things to be done. There's a lot of things for the government to be doing, to be honest.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to bring voices that matter, and we'll be sharing experiences and exploring solutions. Or mark your calendars, put in your diaries, set your reminders, whatever you need to do. We're going to be live on Instagram. Let's talk about the change and what we want to see.
Right, that's wow. Before you.
Can you read out the Instagram link or any of those information?
Yes, I will. I'll do that. Right. It says, join us in a crucial conversation tackling youth violence and making a difference in our communities. Max and Chan will be hosting the Instagram Live. Join in the special guests, Nadine Searchwell and the reasoning with the Empress. Is it Empress Lee, right? Who will share their perspectives and experiences on this pressing issue. And that will be on Wednesday, the 24th of January at the time of 8 p.m. right at Max and Chan, which is MAXANDCHAN. Okay.
That was yesterday. That was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, because that's
I don't know what the report of that was, but we'll probably get the report back on that as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear.
Right. So anyhow, we're gonna be doing our piece right down there in the mosaic there on Ephra Road tonight at 6 p.m. and then we'll see what happens. So you know what? I'm glad that is happening. I'm glad that it is really happening.
Well, there's like you say, there's lots of splinters and lots of groups and people, brothers, sisters, community who want the change. And individually we can't do it, and we can all sit down there and say, well, it's the government's responsibility. Or we can always say it's somebody else's responsibility, and none of us take responsibility. But as adults who have been there, done that, and looking around and seeing the potential within our young people, and seeing how it's so easily, it appears to be so easily dismissed. The lifeblood that they're all walking and carrying, it just seems they seem to not value it. Something needs to be done, and it's, as those individuals, those brothers and sisters were saying, it's never too late. We need to have the conversation, and I'm not saying it's the government's responsibility. As a community, as individuals, as caring individuals, let's see what we can do and get that momentum and get that shift going in order to make that difference.
You know, ideal world, ideal situation, yes, things could be resolved, and you know, let's make a move forward. But we know that it takes more than that. We know that it takes more than that. One of the other challenges that I'm foreseeing, right, is the cultural differences as well. You know, for the fact that we really have to work at our Swahili, right, so that we can communicate with our people, yeah, and you know, even things like that, that we really need to have that inter um community communication, right? And I don't mean just a Europeanized aspect, right? The Africans and Caribbeans need to come together and speak on this as well. One of the surprising statistics, well, I wouldn't say surprising really, but the majority of those victims has been over the last 5 years have been African boys, right? They've been African, right? By name alone, right? By name alone. So, like for me, right? For me, that is one of the things that we have to highlight as well. That, you know, even though you may have a lot of division and separatism from between the Africans and the Caribbeans, right? This has to be addressed as well, and the message has to be shared with them. It has to be shared with them, right? That we don't want to see the murdering of our youngs in that way as well. Yeah. I've got a caller on the line here. What we got? Greetings, caller.
Hello. Am I on mute?
No, you're not. No, you're not. I can hear you very well.
You clearly. Greetings.
Okay. Okay. I'll put I'll phone back. Yeah.
Why do you want to call back? Do you know what to
No,
share in
I'm
the
trying to put
conversation?
my phone on mute and listen. You know.
Oh, to listen. Okay then.
Yeah, I'm trying to put my phone on mute.
Okay then. That's no problem. That's no problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay then. All right. Yeah. So we are the ones who have to be reaching out, and if it's our voice, let it be our voice. If it's their voice, let it be their voice. But let's get some kind of reasoning here, so that we can actually say, you know what, at least we're making the effort to actually make the changes that are necessary, right? Right. I would love to have, even if I aim for it, a whole year without any murders. A whole year to go without any murders. I know I'm laughing about it, but it's a serious thing, you know, right? You know, to just say, okay, then at least this year we haven't had any crime or murders associated with that in that way. Yeah. You know how it would really mess up these people's statistics if that happened. It would mess them up so much. they would think that the world had died.
Mm, 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 mm. Yeah. It's just the fact, like you say, whether or not you could have a period of time whereby the young people aren't, they're having a conversation rather than aren't having a conversation with a weapon, or it's going to end up with taking a life. They can have a conversation, they can fight one another and walk away. Both parties can walk away without having to have a conversation with either the police or the hospital. They can go back to whatever their family unit is and sit down and a glass of water or drink and eat a sandwich or whatever, or eat some food without having to involve a knock on the door from either the police or the hospital. So it would be beautiful. So yeah, have those conversations. Definitely have those conversations and see what can be done. And if it's different conversations in different parts of the room and you're all saying the same thing, then you'll catch young people at different times. So one young person's going to hear and reverberate on the Instagram side of things, another one's going to reverberate and get involved in terms of the real life, real times, in terms of you guys meeting. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how we interrupt their current trajectory, but let's just interrupt it. Because if they keep doing what they're doing, we're losing the geniuses on a day-to-day basis.
But then again, are we utilizing the geniuses? Right? Is there opportunities for these geniuses to actually come and do what they needed to do?
So the question is, are we utilizing them? And I would say society is dumbing them down, which is why they choose alternative means of either communicating and or they get themselves into the situation they're into. So from a wider society, from that village mentality, we're not utilizing it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we can't utilize it. It means then coming together collectively, exactly as you're doing, as your group's doing, as that group's doing on Instagram, and looking at where we know what the problems are. We can all come up with, on the blink of an eye, a number of the problems, but let's start thinking about some of those solutions. Let's change that narrative, not just to look at the problems and the numbers and the statistics.
No, those are numbers of the past. The new ones will be 0, 0, 0 right across the board.
That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for.
Yep.
We're
0, 0, 0 right across the board.
Stop those knocks on the door.
You know them things there, innit? Who's that? Who's that whittling in the background? There's some Brother Akram.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, no.
You need to fling a stone after that body.
No, it's very peaceful here. No noise coming anywhere.
I've got noise.
You got them coming.
So I was not the guilty party. Sorry.
I've got the noise in terms of the
birds.
Birds.
I must greet our sister Sandra. Sorry, I did not greet you the first time. Yeah.
Brother, yeah. No problem.
Yeah, what's your comment, my brother? What's your comment? Come on. You gone?
It's gone again.
For youngsters, and the thing is that all of these things I had in my head that when we started up the ACU, that we will have, we can start having our own clubs and things like that, where we can do training and other things like where, you have a club in Brixton, you have a club in Tottenham, and, from week to week, they can have their championships, whether it's football or whether it's cricket, and things like that, where they can start pulling together. And um, in the karate arena, there was a sort of discipline, for youngsters and so forth when they go out and things like that. And we need something to bring that sort of discipline in our community.
One of the things when I was doing
we need something like that to bring that discipline within our community.
So when I was doing the martial arts, right, is that when you meet somebody that you used to train with, and then we always mention it. Is that martial arts saved many of people getting their teeth licked out, right? Because we had that ethos of we knew what we were doing, right? Therefore, we couldn't go that much further as we would like to do, yeah, or probably as we would have done if we didn't have that training.
Didn't have the discipline.
Yeah, right. So, and like even with a lot of the young children, this is why I feel that things like that should be part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the curriculum, as it stands now, doesn't encourage those type of things. That type of what they call it, interactive body fighting or anything like that, like boxing and things like this. Yeah, they don't encourage it at all. So like I know what, like when I was in school, I used to do judo, right? And then when I left school, and I had my first son, that's when I took up the karate as well. So he was doing that, and I was doing it along with him as well. Yeah. So in many ways, right? I just think to myself, boy, if only some of us even experienced it for like a year or 2 years of just the basic trainings in that way there and the discipline, then that would be a good stead for many of us. Like many, right? I'm telling you now. Right. Right, we're coming to the top of the hour. We've got 10 more minutes left, and I know that our sister Nour will be in the house, right, to take over. Is that her? No. I thought that was her just coming up then. Anyhow, yeah, so she'll be in the house within the 10 minutes. So, let's have a conclusion. What's your thoughts on this, Brother Akram? What's your thoughts and your future aspirations towards us resolving our situation over here in the UK? Apart from shut it down. You gonna answer? No.
Sorry?
I said, what's your final thoughts on what on our situation
Yeah,
here?
what I would say, my final thought is that there is a lot that can be done, and as I bring it back to the beauty of what I see on the continent here, driving around and looking at our people just going about their everyday life, and and I could see the sort of intelligence in many of their faces. Because fortunately, one of the great things here, education has been pushed from the time that the country became independent. So although they have still a large population that doesn't have, well, out of 60 million, you have 80% literacy. That's not too bad, on considering the way that the continent is going. But yeah, I could see a great future taking place, especially among these people, as they come along, especially if they can be left in peace. And that is so vitally important.
I think
disrupt their lives.
I think some form of like as a part of it, the literacy program is very important, right? Obviously, if you've got that in mind, it gives somebody that impetus to have that freedom, And the importance of communication is important as well, right? Although things have moved on from the times of when we were around in the book, the pen and the paper, right? But still, we have to emphasize on them actually seeing the usefulness of not only doing the left and the right, up and down, but the rest of the keyboard has functions as well. You know, in other words, let's be wordsmiths as well. Yeah, right. Not only just press the search button. Okay. And yeah, Sister Sandra, what do you have to say?
So I've enjoyed the conversation we've had,
Mhm.
and the fact that I'd like to go back and just recognise, as you said, in terms of the medical staff, the nurses,
Mhm.
that you came into contact with on Wednesday,
Yes, yes.
bigging them up and recognizing. And sometimes we always see the worst in people.
Mhm.
Sometimes we see the worst in the young people because we see them either, unfortunately, taking each other's life, or standing on the corner, or doing something which,
Mhm.
as adults, we look at and we think, why? There are a lot more young people out there that are doing positive things. There are a lot of nurses and doctors out there doing positive things and wishing to do it from the heart.
Mhm.
Getting the young people involved who are doing positive things is a way forward to say, so why are you doing something different than your friend who's on the street corner or some of your classmates? Let's have those conversations, because as bad as it is, there are things that can be done in order to change the trajectory of
Mhm.
the road that some of those young people are going down. So it's beautiful, the fact that the groups are coming together, you're having
Mhm.
conversations, and those conversations can lead to an outcome which, like you say, no deaths.
Mhm.
Why not?
Definitely, definitely. You know, we have to be the ones who are going to be putting ourselves out there, and we should always be the ones that are just willing to state what needs to be said as well. You know, so anyhow, listen, thank you very much for being with us on this afternoon's Blacknificent Radio Show here. And I know, say you have the beautiful day ahead of you. Right? What are you doing? Chasing crab today? Hold on. Where you
No,
go?
no, I met someone as I was
Ooh,
going to the lighthouse.
ooh, ooh.
We
Good.
were talking, and some of the things that he was saying, there's someone else then that I'm gonna meet, just from a conversation point of view and a Pan-African point of view and a stance, and
Mm,
just yeah, a way of living
mm,
that we don't, may not necessarily feel in first reflection or an initial reflection.
mm,
So yeah, there's someone I do wish to catch up with,
mm,
which may happen today, if not today, within the next few days.
mm. All right then. Okay then. Okay. We look forward to your feedback
Yeah,
on this. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And, you know what? Have a great day and a great time and a great few days.
Hmm.
Will you be joining us in on the rising or no?
Possibly not.
Okay then. All
Possibly not.
right then. All right then. All right. All right then. Until our next time we meet then, okay?
All right then.
Okay
Peace,
then.
family.
All right then. Take care now.
All right.
Right. Galaxy family, thank you for joining us on the Blacknificent Radio Show this afternoon. And as I say, I'm going to be going after this meeting this afternoon, and then let's see what will transpire from that meeting. And I shall be coming back to Uno for some kind of support in one way or another. Right. So until then, right, the next up will be our sister Anawa. Oh, we got you. Yeah, I thought you would do that to me on this.
Tears. We no need no more. For years upon years, we've been shedding black tears, and now we're standing in quicksand. Now tell me who is to blame? It lies with us and no one else. We shedding every day, black people wasting away, black tears drowning our minds, black people walking blind. That's the wool of our eyes. Our future don't look bright, but we have the answer to shed no more black tears. Hey, self-pity done, no more talk. Time for black people walk the walk and take control of the situation. We cry peace, we cry love, but get no answer. Action will get a reaction. Stand up and fight, and that will stop the black tears. We're shedding every day. We will stop wasting away. No more cloud in our minds. No more walking blind. No more wool of our eyes. We future gonna be bright. We have the answer. Stand up for our rights. We're gonna stop the black tears. Black tears. Tears. Years after years, we've been shedding black tears, and now we're standing in quicksand. Now, tell me who is to blame? It lies with us and no one else. Oh, yeah. All right. Do good and good will follow you. Wherever you go. Don't you know that you can never ever catch your shadows. You better take it slow. Take it slow. Take it slow. Your journey starts with the first step. Trust the process and strive for greatness. Believe them life hopeless. I know worry cause I'm so blessed. I am make it known. I know rush, I'm gonna take it slow. Do all the good I can and make the blessing flow. People's on the talk, but your blessing sure. Blessing sure. Life of his faces. Oh. Change every day. Oh. Turning over new pages. In this cycle of life, I'm gonna live it upright. Do good and good will follow you. Wherever you go. Don't you know that you can never ever catch the shadows. You better take it slow.